It was a podcast. This is what I have for you today. David came on and we did gym stuff, gym etiquette, what bothers us of the people that go to the gym, what they do. Um, Talked about the Saturday people that go to the gym. And now, I know I go to the gym on Saturday, but I'm not a Saturday person because I go during the week too. And the behavior of the Saturday people, that's what we talk about today. And then we get into the NFL, the weekend that was. We look ahead to this week's games in the division round, and we talk about just the matchups, what we see, and give our predictions, and then that was it. So a lot of good stuff. We get into the Matthew Stafford stuff. What classifies a winning player from a losing player? And I got a little heated. So it was all good. So here's David and I. Hope you enjoy it. It was a podcast. And here we go.
What are you munching on there, Germ? What is that?
It is apple cider the vinegar gummies.
Oh, they do that?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay, all right.
Got it at Sprouts.
Sprouts. Okay, are they supposed to have like the similar benefits and all that? Like,
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Dang, how many can you eat? Like, what's the? Because obviously, like with like apple cider vinegar, it's like isn't it like a shot usually, like a shot of
yeah. So just... you do. The one I got is 2 a day, but there's like others. I'm guessing depends on how much the dosage.
Yeah.
That you get you have to take like 3 a day.
Oh, gotcha.
Mine's just 2. Yeah.
2. Okay.
Yeah, so it isn't too bad.
All right, that's cute. I see you getting your little health on over there. Dang.
Yeah. Dude.
You hit the gym already?
Yeah. I've been going consistently at 5-ish.
Dang, okay. Dude, shout out to the sauna breathers, bro. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Dude, it's so annoying.
Do you have more than one? Like, what do your guys do?
Yeah, so it's weird because it's men typically.
Yeah.
And they'll walk in and they're just, and you're just like, bro, like, and it's like continually, it's like constant. And it's like, I get it. It's hot, but like what are you doing? Yesterday I had there was this old Hispanic guy, and he was playing his like Facebook videos all loud. And he's just like, dude. And then today there was 2 sets of women. So a group of 3 and a group of 2. And they were like both having different conversations all loud. And so when I go in the sauna, I like to go in there and I'm in there 20 minutes and I'll put on some classical music and I'll read.
Ooh, okay.
And I'll read for 20 minutes. And it's just like, classical music is not that loud. And even if you have the volume all the way up.
It can be soothing, yeah.
Yeah. So even if you have the volume all the way up, it's not like you're listening to
like metal.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, dude, like I can't even concentrate on my book because you guys are talking. Like, shut up. Like 20 minutes, just come in here and be quiet. There should be like sauna etiquette because it's just out of control.
Yeah.
One of the ladies started to like work out and she was like doing like the reverse push-ups where you work out your triceps.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, there's an entire gym for you to work out. Like, you're gonna work out in here?
Yeah.
Like, really? So it's fun, I guess, but it's been cool to go and because I go like at 5:10, 5:20, 5:30, and by 7:00 I'm done. I'm done
Yeah.
with my workout, and I can, if I have to go to work. When I go to work, I leave earlier from the gym. But days like today where I can work from home, I still am able to come home, start my day, and
Gotcha. Okay.
and the weekend, obviously, I get home and I'm just chilling. If I have no like Saturday, went to the gym, got home like at 7:30, and just chilled. I was wide awake, and the only thing is I am falling asleep earlier, which makes sense because
Yeah,
I'm
that makes
waking up
sense. Yeah.
earlier.
Like by
I'm
like eight,
tired
9 o'clock,
physically.
you're like, all right, time for bed. Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. You're like 8 o'clock, and you're like, dang, it's kind of dark outside. I might just, next year.
yeah. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go lay down now. Uh, that's
Dude, I've
been
got
a
two
different kind of.
distinct like breathers like in the sauna I go to. So like
Yeah,
when you tweeted that one time, like that was like in the morning, right? And so I went later in
right.
the day, and so I went in, and there was like three or four other dudes, and there was one dude that was like breathing a little bit louder than usual, and I was like, oh god, here we go. Is this one of those guys? And
The
that's
guy
what I
read
tweeted
my
at you. I was
tweet.
like, dude, I'm sitting across from one right now, dude. And I was like, can you shut up? Like, and so I thought about trolling him and like playing videos on my phone super loud. Cause it's
Yeah,
like, hey, oh, you're trying to focus? Like, I'm trying to focus too, bro. You know what I mean? Like you breathing is just as annoying as me playing a video for like that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
right.
And so, and actually sometimes I'll do 2 sauna sessions. I might do like 10 or 15 before the workout just to warm up a little bit. And then I'll like hop on the treadmill, then lift some weights. And then I'll go in for 20 minutes after.
Yeah,
And so that happened first before the workout. And then after the workout, I went in and man, I thought I had it rough with the first guy. This second guy was like, so I went in, it was just me and him. And this dude was like, first off, he had bird sounds going in the sauna. He like on his phone, he was playing like the relaxing little like bird chirping sounds,
like out loud.
out loud. Which I'm like, the bird sounds. I'm like it's like classical music. Like it's supposed to be relaxing, right? I could deal with that. The sounds of like birds chirping in the morning, I like waking up to that. That's relaxing. But this dude was doing like full on like have you seen that the Hulk movie with like Edward Norton? Have you seen that one?
Yeah,
There's a scene where he's in like Brazil and this guy is showing him breathing exercises and his stomach, his diaphragm's expand.
right.
This guy was doing that. He was doing like and like and he was a fit guy. He was like up and everything, and his diaphragm was just like. And then he started doing like those like yoga poses. He was like on all four, like, and I was just like, dude, do this somewhere else, like, or at least wait till I'm gone, like. But this guy was breathing like 10 times louder than the last guy. And I thought, dang, I would take the other guy right now over this guy. It was absurd. And then I talked to my buddy who also does the sauna too. And he was like, oh yeah, you ran into that guy? Yeah, that guy's there. Like, screw that guy, dude. Like that guy's there.
That guy's a reputation already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And oh my, and they had to put a sign up in the sauna, outside the sauna, because like dudes would try to work out in there. Like dudes would try to do all that. And so then they made rules where it's like, yo, like you gotta like wear this or this when you're in there. You can't work out in there. You can't do this, can't do that.
I know that. I don't understand the people that go in there and try to work out. There was a guy that went in there, and this guy was like legit, like doing push-ups, and he's just like, dude, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's like an entire gym out there. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Dude, they're trying to be like, oh my god,
like
they're trying to be like Dragon Ball Z characters in the hyperbolic time chamber. They're trying to work out in the extreme weather, like. And it's like, that's great. Build your own gym at home and do that. Yeah, don't come in here. Like,
it's just so. I
don't
trying
to sit down, do some light breathing, like just a few deep breaths. I think you can get the same effect from just a few deep breaths. Just like,
yeah, you don't have to be all crazy. Like we don't.
Yeah,
need
this
to
guy's over here like. I'm like, dude, what? It's like you're playing in like Denver, and like you're trying to survive. I don't need that. Nobody needs that, dude. So
yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How you like you get in there, and I think one of my pet peeves is people that don't have earphones or
Oh
headphones.
yeah, yeah,
And it's like everybody has them now. They're not that expensive,
right.
and I don't want to hear what you're playing on your phone. I don't
Yeah,
want to hear it. I don't care. Put some earphones on, and it's the same thing on the train. Like you get on the train and you get these people that are blasting music, and it's like, dude, like put earphones on. Like there's legit people on the train who walk around selling earphones. Like buy $10 earphones.
wait, they do that down there on the metro?
Yeah. The guy, different guys get on there and they're selling
That's great.
tasers. They,
That's
they sell tasers. They even like
hey,
click it.
blast
They're
their
just like
heart,
clack, clack,
dude.
and you're like, wow. Um,
Dude,
but it
I
just,
got to ride the train next time I go down
bro,
LA.
yeah, the blue line. Shout out to the blue line.
The blue line.
Um, but it's one of those things that I'm just like, bro, like I don't. Nobody cares what you're listening to. We don't want to listen to this. It's your music. You know, it's like if I'm blasting one of my podcasts, like that I listen to in the morning. It's like nobody wants to
Yeah.
listen to that. Except
Yeah,
me.
and you're over
Like,
there like looking at people like,
yeah.
hey, what's up? How's like check this out?
What do you
Like,
think of this conversation?
yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
So it's out of control. It's out of control. Some of the behavior in the gym, the way people behave.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like people don't know how to be around people. I saw this TikTok. It was funny and it was the guy was saying how when we were in school, our entire life that we were in school, we were separated, you know. So it was the kids, the non-special ed kids were separated from the special ed kids. And if you saw one of the special ed kids like go crazy, you'd be like, oh, you know, they're special needs.
Like makes sense. Yeah.
So, you know, just let them be. It is what it is, whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, but you get out of school and society doesn't separate them. So you're all kind of blending together. And he was saying, if you see somebody acting weird or strange or somebody try you, just keep in mind it might be one of the special needs kids that is now an adult. And there's
Dang.
it made me laugh. And I was like, man, it may be. Because you meet some people and you're just like, what are you thinking? Like, what is inside of your mind that you think this is okay? Or like, what is your behavior? What is this right now? So it was a funny TikTok that I saw. But I was like, man, I mean, if that's true, it kind of explains a lot of behavior that you see sometimes because it just either that or people are extremely selfish, which is
That's
not far. You know that's
yeah.
super. That's probably more true than anything else because it's just so crazy. You're in a shared space and the behavior just doesn't add up.
It does not up. Yeah. It's like, did you guys not like? Oh man. See, I can tell who shared a room with a sibling growing up, and who like who's out here just like.
Yeah,
and who had everything, and no self awareness.
The people that were raised to think they were the main characters of the story. You could just tell. You could just tell. Yeah, just like it's or the what about the people that you're working out and you're using weights or the machines or whatever or the treadmill, and they're waiting for you.
Right. For the
and
machines.
Instead of being normal and looking at their phones or looking away, because there's a way for you to do it where you're keep an eye on. They're just like staring at you,
looking right at you.
You're just like, and you're
judging
like,
your form, like
and you're like, dude, like, okay, I get it. You're next. Like,
I didn't forget, bro. I got you. Like,
there needs to be a system. There needs to be like in the app of these gyms where kind of you're on it and it's like numbered. And it says like, okay, X person is on here, and then you can like jump on the queue and say, okay, I call next, and then you can just tap it when you're done.
Yeah.
And the person can just go, and it's like reserved for them. But I'm just like, dude, like, why are you staring at me?
Has that happened to you? Like, where like you're doing your thing?
It happened to me. It happened to me on Saturday. I was at the gym working on my chest.
Because Saturday gym people are different than weekday gym people.
Dude.
Go ahead.
So different. Oh my God. I sent that tweet and somebody was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Oh, you go to the
Like,
gym on
it's like
Saturday.
you
Go
had
to
to
the
be there.
gym
You had to
during
be
the
there.
week,
Yeah.
and then go Saturdays." And you're just like, "What the hell is going on?" Yeah. So Saturday, I'm working out, and I'm working on my chest. And, you're working on your chest. Once you do a certain amount of reps and you've been at it for a good while, it's a little painful. Your facial expression changes a little bit. You're more
Right.
effort. You might grunt a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're
Some breathing,
pushing.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're sweating. So it's this older guy, and obviously where I live, it's like predominantly Hispanic. So it's this older abuelo looking man,
Yeah. This old vato. Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm almost done. And I'm like, you know what? Like, let me push myself. Let me do one more rep. I'm gonna do one more set. Sorry, not rep. One more set. And mind you, there's other I'm sitting on the thing, and so I'm kind of just like it's like a 90-degree bench kind of.
Yeah. It's like an incline. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's like other benches next to me empty, and there's like weights, whatever.
Right.
And this guy, for whatever reason, wanted the bench that I was on. I don't know why. I don't know what was special about where I was sitting.
Gosh.
And, I put the weights down and I'm just, kind of gathering myself, okay, getting ready. And I noticed that he's been standing there for, a good 5 minutes staring at me. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to pay attention. I'm not wearing glasses. So I don't work out with my glasses. So I can't really see anyway. Like beyond, I don't know, beyond anything.
Like 4 or 5 feet, maybe. Like.
Yeah, yeah. Everything else is
Yeah.
blurry. So to me, it's like even if you think I'm looking at you, I can't even see you, bro. So whatever. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, you know what? I think he's looking at me, but I don't know. I don't want to make an assumption. I'm not going to say anything and then look crazy when he's like, dude, like, I'm not even looking at you. And so I go and, I finish my set. I put it down. And as soon as I put it down, he comes up. He's like, are you done? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh.
He's like, I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay, cool. And obviously this is all in Spanish, but I'm like, there's like other benches. Like this is out of control. And that would never happen, during the week. Never. Because during the week, people are, somebody else would have been next to me using it.
Yeah.
And that's the type of behavior you see on Saturdays. You see the people that are just doing the most. They're talking way too loud. Like way too like what is this? Like this is not a restaurant. So it's just insane. Insane behavior.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dang.
And I'm new. I'm 3 weeks in. I'm new. So and I'm just like, what is going on with you people? Like what is
maybe you can
happening?
what was I gonna say? Like because I guess you like TikToks and like reels of people like at the gym and stuff. Like obviously the whole like I think it's really cool. I mean, at least me personally, I don't mind like when like a machine is busy and then say I'm on a machine and someone's like, hey bro, like how many sets do you have left? Just so I can, and then if I tell them the amount, regardless of the amount, they should be cool with whatever I say. Because if I just got on the machine and said, yo, I got
for real. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I would be the same way if I was asking about a machine. If homeboy just hopped on a machine and he's got 5 sets, 20, whatever the case is, I'd be like, okay, cool. Like I'll be back in like, I don't know, like 15 or so minutes whenever
Right.
I think they'll be done with that. I think people got to be more comfy with that in the gyms, like, and just, then also like asking for like spotters too. Like if you're like, say I'm on my last set, like you, and like, I'm like, you know what? I got one more set in me. And I see that, I will leave those over there waiting. I'm be like, okay. I might even like call him out. I'm not calling him out, but I'll be like, hey, I've got one set left.
Yeah.
I can see you're hovering, Because you got to put him on edge a little bit. You got to throw a little jab at him. Be like, I see
Right,
you're waiting,
right.
bro. I got one
Yeah,
set left. And it's like, tell you what, can you give me a spot on this last set? And then the machine's all yours. Thank you. Bye. And then do
yeah.
your set, But I feel people are like intimidated to ask for stuff in the gym because they're very like we said last night, they're afraid. They don't want to be in there and being like, oh, like, do I need to get spotted? What is a spot? Or like
Yeah.
what is a set? But yeah,
But
people are
that's less
that's
rude.
like he just pulled a dude like using the urinal next to you when there's like a line of urinals, and you're like, why are you right next to me, bro? Like, go over there. There's got to be a splash zone. Do you not know about the splash zone? They talk about
Yeah.
that in school. The kids talk about it in school. There's a splash zone, and there's got to be like a gym weightlifting splash zone. Like if I'm on this
Yeah.
bench and there's a whole row, at least leave one machine in between us. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, or at least use the one next to you. But I don't know. But
Yeah. So some of this stuff, man, is out of control. It's just so I was working out last week. Yeah, I'm working out last week, and there was a group of four dudes. And the gym where I go, it's not like it's a small gym. It's not like there's only one machine
right.
of each or like one set of dumbbells. There's like enough for everybody. Um, and it was like these four dudes. It was Saturday too, actually. It was these four dudes, and they're all gathered around the same machine, and they're all just like taking turns. I'm like, you know what? For on one end, it's like that's cool, working together, gym bros, sick. But all four of you need to be around the same machine. Like, wouldn't it
Okay.
be? But wouldn't it be more efficient if it's like, all right, you two over here, us two,
Dude's
we're
over
gonna be
here.
on this one, and then when we're done, we switch. It's
How okay?
just make
How
no
much were
sense
they
to me.
talking? How much were they talking in between sets?
A
Were they
lot.
like growing it up? Were they like,
Yeah. They were
okay,
chilling.
yeah, that's a waste of time. That's
It
a
was a
waste. Yeah,
hangout. I was like, bro,
I was about to
what
say
is
because
this,
like
bro?
when we lifted like back in the day, it was like because like say you have a whole team in a workout facility, right?
Yeah,
They would put you
but you're in school,
right, but I'm saying like they would put you in cycles of like three or four players, and
right?
you would go around each station, and so you guys would go. I don't want to say like fast, but like quick. Like you would do your set, and then
Yeah, you're
if
there
you
to work
weren't
out.
doing the set, one guy would spot, one guy would be resting, and then boom, you would all switch. So there's like a built-in like rest time of at least like
Right.
30 to 45 seconds to even a minute maybe, and then your next set.
Yeah.
So I was about to say, if there's four of them and they're like, but yeah, if they're just chilling, I'm
No,
like,
they're not spotting each other.
bro,
None of that.
payasos, bro. That's what my dad would say. Like, what are the payasos? Get
It
out of
was
here.
just one of them was doing it, and they were just like talking to each other. Oh yeah, remember yesterday? Well, blah, blah. And the other guy's just like working out. He's done. And then they continue to say, and it's just like, dude, this is like, you guys are gonna be here 3 hours, and you're gonna tell people, oh yeah, we're at the gym 3 hours. No,
Yeah,
you're at the gym working out for maybe
yeah,
an hour, and you're just hanging to it, standing around for two. Like
yeah.
waste of time. Like what
Dude.
is that? So it just, I don't know, man. But I get it. I mean, if that's where you go hang out,
Right? Yeah. If you got the time, and I mean, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you, but
yeah,
you also better not be one. Oh, like why aren't I making any gains? Because you're talking most of the time and you're hanging out. Like,
I don't see any results. Yeah, I think I'm less social than you for sure. So I go in there and I'm like, please, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to make friends here. I don't want to. I just want to come, work out, leave. Um, Not that I'm opposed to it, and it's why I think when I told you a story last week about the two Cowboy fans, and I just didn't say anything because I'm like, I don't want this to be a thing. I don't want to.
oh, yeah. See, I'm about chopping it
So
up. Like, dude, I'll go in. I'll talk to the front desk. How's everybody doing? How are we doing today?
oh yeah, no,
Like, can I get some ice
never.
in here? Thank you, appreciate
Oh
you. Like,
no. I walk
dang.
in there and I'm like, please don't notice me. Please don't notice. Please don't talk to me.
Do
Obviously,
you have to check
if
in?
they
Do you have
say,
to go
yeah,
like a fob?
you scan the QR or whatever.
So you give them the fob and the nod, like you like ding, and then you go like what's up, and then you walk.
I don't say anything unless they say something. So they say, hey, good
Okay,
morning, have a good workout. I'm like, oh, good morning, thank you. So I'm not a
Okay, all right,
complete.
okay,
I'm not a complete jerk, but I'm not going to
okay,
initiate. I'm not going to greet
right,
you.
okay,
I'm not going to do that.
okay.
No, but
Dang.
sometimes it's funny. The guys, the male workers are friendlier. The women workers never say anything, which is fine. So,
Gotcha. Yeah.
um,
The bros, the
yeah, the
front desk bros.
bros. Yeah,
How's it
yeah.
going, man? Yeah, like those guys.
They
Yeah.
call me sir, and I'm like, dang, I must look super old then,
Oh,
because
dude,
he looks my age, and he's just like, have a good workout, sir. And so I don't know
dude.
if I don't know if that's like he legit thinks I'm like super old because it's been several of them, or that's just like the boss. You know what the dudes that say boss,
Right.
which is like a difference. I people that say boss, I just like they irk my soul. They irk me. I just
I'm one of
cannot.
those guys, dude.
Oh
How's it going, boss?
man.
Yeah. Oh, come
When I
on,
worked at
son.
Starbucks and I would take people's orders, and the guy was like, "All right, anything else? No, that's it, boss. Thank you, boss." And I'm just like,
Dude, but you're like like Tony Soprano. Like you're like you like
Tony
he
Soprano
boss.
never said boss.
I know, but he even though he never said it, he is the boss. Like he's the guy. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you
I'm
think there's a
just
sense of like they're not being authentic when you say it? Is
you're
that what it is?
patronizing me. Yeah, of
Okay.
course. If I was your boss, I wouldn't be making your frap. I wouldn't be
It's
taking
just,
your orders at Starbucks if I was your boss.
it's a show of respect.
No, it's not. You're
Yeah.
patronizing me.
Okay. No, because you look at it as like, oh, I'm making your coffee, and you're like, dang, like they're like, you're making my coffee. Like, thank you, I appreciate you. You know.
Boss? You think your boss is
Yeah.
going to do that for you? Come on, get out of here.
Yeah.
Where have you worked? What do you mean?
Or if I worked there like Mickey D's, or I work the front desk like where I work. Like
And your company?
I'll call people boss. I'll call people boss.
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah.
I've never been that. But I've also never been that kind of bro. You know, I've never been that.
See, I'm a bro. Like
Yeah, you're a bro. So
the
that
only
makes
other
sense.
guy I know that didn't like that either was like one of my older like worship pastors, and like he's grumpy, just like he's social when he has to be, when he has to
Just
be.
like you.
But he's like he's entering like he's already at that like that old man get off my lawn phase, or like yeah, and I love him, he's cool, but like we went on
Yeah.
once, and it was me, my brother, him, and someone else. And the waiter called him boss, and he was like, after the guy left, he was like, "Ugh, I hate guys like that." And I'm like, "Dude, bring me a beer." Like, relax,
That
dude.
sounds like my type of guy right there.
Yeah, oh,
I just can't. I just can't. So I've always said that I can't wait to get old because once I get old, I can like truly fly off the handle, and people be like, "Oh, he's just old.
see, yeah. I'm
Just grandpa."
yeah,
Now I
get
don't
off my
consider.
lawn.
Yeah, now I don't consider myself to be a grumpy person, but I'm also not super jolly either. You know, but I'm not like the get off my lawn. Back in my day, everything was better, guys. I love technology, so it's not even like man, these kids they have all this phone.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I just socially, there's just a lot of things that I'm just like. I just don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with you. Like so socially, I have a lot of like I don't know problems.
You don't have like your social battery, like the capacity for it, it's not super high.
No, not at all.
Like, okay,
No.
let me ask you this: do you have days where you're like, okay, I'm done talking to people, I'm going home, and I'm
Every
just yeah. You see, you like, bro, I could be like,
Yeah, every day.
dude, I'm the guy after the gig that's like,
Where we
so
going?
where are we going after this? Like, we hit the bars, or like just to go see someone play, or like what's going? And they're like, oh, I'm going to sleep, and I'm like, loser.
No,
Like,
no, like so it's funny because I'm good one on one. I can hang out with you one on one all day, and I'm good. But if we're like in a group, and if we're like in a group of four plus, I get drained. mentally.
Or new people. If you're like, there's two of you and you're going out and there's
Yeah.
like, yeah, see, yeah, okay, yeah,
Well,
I can see that. Like, cause
it
like me,
depends. The new
yeah,
people have to be, if it's like, it feels like it's like pulling teeth talking to them, then yeah. But if it's
okay, yeah,
like when I hung out with Aaron the first time, that was cool. Like I didn't come out of there drained, but he's like really good at conversating. There were story
right,
sharing, but I think but if we're in a group of 4 to 5 people, and this happens not just with like friends, this happens with family. Like I'll go to my mom's house and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go home. Like I'm good.
yeah,
Because I just have never had a long battery life. But one on one, I'm good. I'm good all day. Maybe I'll go a few moments of just silence where but
right.
I'll be fine. But yeah, what's funny is, do you like, are you good with silence or not? Do you get like super uncomfortable?
No, I can do both. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like with Sam, like my brother. Like when we rode down to that Lakers game a few months ago,
Yeah.
me and Sam, we'll joke sometimes, we'll talk sometimes, but there are parts of that car ride where it's like maybe some music playing and then that's it. And I'm cool with that. Like because also like I might take into account if I know how the other person is. Like and I know Sam's not like super talkative,
Yeah.
you know? Like if it was me and Aaron in the car,
Hmm.
it wouldn't be awkward, but I feel like, dang, it's kind of weird that we're not talking about something because we usually always have something to talk about, or just like, you know.
Yeah.
But with Sam, it's like I know how Sam is, so I'm like, all right, yeah, I mean, cool. Can you put on this album? Cool, thanks. Then he puts on that album on the stereo, and then that's it. All right, cool. We're at the game, cool, and then. But yeah, I could do the silence. I'm
Yeah.
cool with
'Cause,
this.
yeah, I'll drive in silence and peaceful,
Yeah,
but I'll get my sisters will get in the car. I'll pick up my sisters to go somewhere, and they're just like, "Do you really not have anything on?" Like, no. And they're like, "You drive silent?" Like, yeah. And they're like, "Oh no, I'd freak out."
sometimes it's needed.
And I'm
I
like,
do. I
dude,
like since I play music, like I like to listen to music quite a bit. So when I drive by myself, if it like if I'm driving and it's just like casual driving, like if I'm driving home from work and it's a short drive, it's maybe like 10 minutes
yeah,
tops. I'll put on some music, but the only time I do songs is like after a long day of like playing a bunch. Like if I play a couple gigs,
yeah,
like if I had days where I play like 2 3 gigs and I'm driving home and it's like super late and I'm like, I could use a little sounds because I was just playing next to like a drummer and all that stuff. And I'm like,
yeah,
so, but yeah, also, I mean, I love to sing in the car. Like I'm always like, I'm putting on my own show. I'm selling out arenas. Like I'm better than T Swift in the car. I'm over, yeah. But sometimes I need a little silence.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
just so I take that to the gym. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm not here to make friends.
Do you prefer, if you had to choose,
Yeah,
being called boss or sir? Which one would you choose?
sir.
Sir, really?
Because I'm 33, so I'm not a youngin. So
Dang.
and I what and also I understand the psychology, the mentality of not the psychology, the mentality of a dude in his like early 20s. Because when you're in your early 20s, you think someone who's 30 is like crazy old. So I get it. You see someone like me and you're like, oh man, this guy's crazy old. Because when I was in my early 20s, that's what I thought. So, um, sir, it makes sense because I am a sir. I'm a man. So that one doesn't bother me one bit. I just thought it was funny because I'm like, man, this guy probably thinks I'm like super old. Like, but
Yeah, I don't like sir. Sir, like
wait, you
that would
don't like sir, but you like boss.
Yeah. Boss is like
David,
casual.
what are you
Like,
doing?
yeah, dude.
Boss is casual. No, it's not.
Yeah.
How is that casual?
Yeah.
Sir is casual. Thank you, sir.
My homie has another job, and he has a coworker at it. He works at a brewery at his other job, and he had a coworker that would call him like "good sir," and he was like, "I hate that guy, good sir." And he's like, "Oh, that's like which is funny because remember
to
the
me is
soccer guy I told you
respectful.
about the 10 hat guy, which I was chatting up with him the other day, yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was just telling him, and obviously I'm paraphrasing what he says to you and vice versa.
Right.
But at the end of it, he was like, "I'd like to chat with your friend someday," and I was like, I actually have a pod, so would you like to, But anyway, he calls me good sir. And when he does it,
boy.
I don't mind because, like, we're boys. But when, like, people that don't know me call me sir, like,
yeah,
I'm like, Also,
That's
I don't like calling
interesting.
old people sir. Like, if I'm at the desk and I see these old timers come in, I don't call them sir. I'm just like,
yeah, I don't use sir either.
Yeah, I know, but some people are on that train of like, oh, like respect your elders, and I'm like, I don't know them. They could be like, bro, you're not about to get my respect just because you're older than me. Like, unless I know
you're one of those. Okay.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. That's
See, to me,
like,
if
the
you're
customer
older,
is always right vibes, and it's like,
No.
dude, you're a stranger. If you're older
To
than me
me-
and you're a stranger, like,
to me, I have that. I operate that way. If I perceive you're older than me, especially if you're like ridiculously older than me. To me, there's like an automatic, not reverence, but respect. You're an older person.
yeah.
I mean, you can turn out to be a douchebag.
I'll start that way, yeah. But once I see like their attitude or how they treat others, or because they might be nice to me and they treat someone else like crap. I've seen it countless times.
Yeah,
and that's when I'm like, oh, like, dude, like you've lost that sir card. Like, I'm not, no, dude, like you're a piece of crap. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
but
sir to me sounds more respectful than boss, for sure.
Yeah,
Boss is very patronizing. It's like when you call a little kid big guy. Hey, big guy. And you're just like, well, he's not really a big guy, but you're just saying
but
that
there's
to
an
make
age
him
to call
feel
them
better.
that. There's an age when they're little, and then when they've crossed that barrier, and like you can tell when they find it annoying, then you change, like But when they're little, they don't know that. Like they're
I know,
thinking,
but
they're thinking like, yeah, I'm a big guy, like
Yeah,
like,
they think that, but
yeah.
reality, it's patronizing because it's like, well, you're not really a big guy. Let me just like puff you up a little bit. And the same thing. You're not really a boss.
You gotta hype up your boys. You gotta let your boys know that like that's what I'm saying. If you're
the people that
coffee,
I would take
like,
orders from at Starbucks, they weren't my boys.
Yeah, but they're appreciating that you're making their coffee. You're like, dude, thank you. Thank you.
My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, I had this kid once, and this is like when I was like, man, I'm getting old. So I was playing at I might have already told the story where like the kid called me, like the kid apologized for like cussing. Did I ever tell you that story in front of me?
No.
And I was like, oh, so we were playing at farmers market, and this girl like dislocated her knee.
Oh, wow.
And so the ambulance showed up to get her. This is like in the street, middle of the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, this chick was dancing, dislocated her knee. She's there on the ground.
How is she dancing?
Yeah, she was very like frail, like she was super thin, like, not athletic, like just college student, just like young college student at the farmers market, because they're usually like 18, 19, 20,
Yeah.
And super. So just I guess when the word on the street when I heard the buzz was that she had already had like knee problems, and so she was just doing her thing, vibing, and then there goes the kneecap, And so the ambulance pulls up. We had to stop playing. The mood is ruined. We're like, damn, this sucks. And there's this little trio, like 3 or 4 little middle schooler kids, And one of them was like, he was like, oh man, he said like probably like shit or something. And I didn't think anything of it. I was just there like yeah, just look at her knee. And he looked over at me and realized that I was like significantly older because he's like what, 12 probably.
Oh, and he was you were crazy old to him then.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And he was like, he was like, oh, and he didn't call me sir, but he said sorry with like genuine fear in his voice. And I didn't like that. I was like, bro, I was you not too long ago. Okay. So don't
You were showing him your ID just to make. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not old. I promise
Because
you, I'm not old.
I do look
I'm
older than my
cool,
age.
man. I'm cool.
Like I know
You,
I was dude.
you can say that in front of me. It's cool. I'm a cool guy. I'm a bro.
Dude. Oh,
Oh
bro.
man.
Yeah. And I was just like, that's what I was like. I was like Kermit looking out the window in the rain, like with my hand on the glass. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, dude. Like, or like Michael Jackson, like looking down, like pensively, like, oh, okay, you know. So, but yeah,
Oh.
he was like, oh, sorry, and I was like, that's fine. Like, dang, dude.
For me, one of the old moments was. I mean, a lot of them happen at Starbucks because everyone works that worked there. I was like older then, but there was this guy. He was one of the shift leads, and um, he would always every time he would work, he would play his music. You know, he put his playlist, and he was my age, so he was playing a lot of like the rock stuff um that I grew up when middle school and all that.
Like Green
And
Day, that kind of stuff, or
yeah, Green Day, Good Charlotte, Blink 182, like
oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
that type of vibe. And every time I would work with him, he'd always play this one song by Good Charlotte. And the first time it played, I was like, "Oh, that's dang! I haven't heard this song." Like you hear a song, it
In a
takes you
while, yeah.
back, and you're like, "Dang, I'm back at Elizabeth Learning Center right here." And I work with him again, so I would work with him on Sundays. So the Sunday following Sunday comes, and I'm working with him again, and the same song comes up, and I'm like, "Man, I remember when I was in the seventh grade when this song came out." And one of the girls turns, she's like, "Dang, how old are you?" At the time, I was, I think, 30 or 31. And she's like, "Oh, man." And she was, I don't know, 25 or so. And I'm like, "Well, I'm not that much older than you. Like, but when you're 25, 30 just sounds so crazy. It just sounds like so far away.
Oh,
But just, I had so many moments like that where somebody would be like, "Oh, man, I'm getting old. I'm 20." And you're just like,
dude, I had a coworker just yesterday. I was about to like clock out, and there's two of them, and it's funny. One of them, she's a girl. She's a little bit younger. She's like 16, 17, and she mentioned Nelly, like the artist Nelly, right? And this other guy who's 18 or 19, he was like, "Who's Nelly?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Wait, are you?" I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "You don't know who Nelly is?" And he was like, and even the girl, like the young girl, she was like Nelly, like the artist, he was like R&B, and I was like, he was just because he was just here at the Mid State Fair
mm.
like last summer,
Nelly was.
and Nelly was, yeah,
Okay, okay.
and so, but he was like, oh, it's like sorry, and I was like, it makes sense. I see it. You're 19, like that. So like you're probably born after like Nelly was like making, so or you were very small when he was making hits.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I was like Kevin Hart talking to Don. I was like, damn, like okay, like like you baby, or it's like, man. Or now people are talking about like Drake being 40 or being close to 40,
Is he?
something like that. And because he's one of those guys that like he's still making music and people are still like digging it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, he's kind of, how old is he? You looking that up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Yes, it's he's 37. Yeah, he's almost 40.
37. So he's almost there. Yeah. So it's like he's kind of entering like, not to blow too much smoke like up Drake's ass, but he's kind of on his like Tom Brady back where it's like he's getting older, but he's still putting out music
Good
that people
music?
like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, it's like, dang, you are getting older though. Because all these artists that are coming out now, it's like dude, some of them are like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like 25 is kind of like, dang, you're kind of getting getting up there a little bit, like so.
Do you think? Because my little brother will play some of the music he likes now, and I've never heard of some of the artists he'll like play.
Yeah.
And I listen to it, and I'm like, dude, this sucks, dude. Like, you call this music? Like, this is like
Who does he play? Do you know any
I don't
names?
know. I can't think of any
Oh,
names top of my
this
head.
is why we gotta have him on. We gotta get his
Um,
perspective, his take on this. Even though he's young, he's really young, but
and
still,
I'm
like,
just like, and I'll find, and I don't say anything. Like, I don't tell him, like, dude, your music sucks, because I'm like, the music, it's not for me. So
yeah,
I'm not supposed to like it. It's not made for me. I'm not the target audience for this artist.
yeah,
And so I think, like, man, like, is it that it's bad or is it that I'm old? Like, I'm used to a sound. I like what I like. And if it doesn't sound like something in the mind, in the realm of what I'm used to, am I just automatically out? Because that's how my parents were. Like, I remember um, my parents hated that I listened to rap, hated it.
oh yeah.
And which is
Shout out
funny.
to, shout out to Eminem. Shout out to Eminem.
Yeah, and it was funny because I remember I was listening to when I was younger. I was listening to Eminem, and DMX and all those dudes. And I remember my stepdad one time was like, who even got you into this kind of music? Do you hear us listen to that? And I'm like, yes, I do. They're like, what? When? And I'm like, dude, you play Chalino Sanchez all the time.
Dude, yeah,
Like,
thank you. Yes.
like you play Saul Vera all the time. Like, corridos is Spanish rap. They talk about the same thing, the same violence, sex, drugs,
Drugs, not narcos, dude. Like that. Yeah, heck yeah.
and I could
Did
tell
he
it
try to
kind of.
retort? Did he like, no,
No, no,
no?
no, no. It was funny because my mom and him, you could tell that it like,
It clicked.
yeah, they kind of were like, wait. And it's like, well, and my mom's always hated rap because she says it sounds like dogs barking. Like, oh, tú con tu música que suena como Pedro's ladrando. She's always said that. And I think like you don't like it, not because the content, because you don't understand it. And the sound is different from what you're used to. And so when I think of my little brother, I think that's probably why I don't like it.
Yeah,
Like, it might be really, really good. It's just, to me, in my ears, in my sensibilities, I think this is garbage.
yeah.
And that's probably what it is.
Right, right. I was watching an interview with you must know Joe Budden, right? Joe Budden, the name Joe Budden.
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So I haven't heard any of his music. I know he used to rap, a while ago. And but now he used to work for Complex, which does like interviews for like hip hop artists and stuff like that. And so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had Lil Yachty on, Lil Yachty. Have you heard of Lil Yachty?
Yes, he sounds
He's one
familiar.
of the new. He's got like the red hot Cheeto colored dreads,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that new age of like the mumble rappers got a lot of heat from the old heads when they were coming in.
Oh, yeah,
there-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
See,
There were
mumble rap sounds stupid. That's just,
it does, but I'm getting to it. I'm getting to
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Those guys would go on like radio stations, like for interviews or on podcasts, and some of them would ask them because some of them do this, which I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that makes sense. You're a rapper. Like, how are those freestyle skills doing? Let me hear that freestyle. Let me see what you got in the vault.
Oh, right,
And so they would ask them, yo, like, can you give me 16 bars over this beat? And they would play beats. And the younger guys, one of them, I think it was Lil Uzi Vert. He told the host, he was like, you please better not play one of those old school type beats. He's like, I will not rap if it's one of those. And so all the old huts were like, what? They were like up in arms, rightfully so. But those guys were saying they're just like, we're just not those kind of rappers. Like it's just like it's almost like a different medium. Like whereas back in the day, guys were rapping like to compete, to to sound hard, all that stuff. He's like some of the modern guys, like they're not on that. Like some of them might just make music or like rap music because they enjoy it. Like and like which is like sure, like we can look at it. You and I can look at it as like, oh, that's whack. Oh, that's
Yeah.
soft. Because like all the guys we listen to were like hardcore. Like Eminem was like a lyricist, and even if they weren't lyrical, they still had like some grit to them,
Right,
and
right,
they wanted to deliver like cool bars,
right. What they
And these
said
guys,
matters. Yeah.
right? Yeah, and these guys, they're just not on that. They're on it for like a good time. So it's and so Joe Budden was going at Lil Yachty in this interview, and and he got a lot of heat from all like little like the new fans. They're like, dude, whack, bitter old head, all this stuff, blah blah. And but at one point he was saying he's like I just want to understand where you guys are coming from. He's like because I do get that my style of music and my era was different. He was like he said I shouldn't always like what you guys come out with, and he said but at the same time I'm not going to stand over here and say like my music is better. I want to hear my music in the club. He's like I don't want to hear myself. I want to hear you guys in the club, but I also want to understand why people like it. And it's like,
Yeah.
I just want to know where you guys are coming from. And I was just like, And there's another dude named Robert Glasper who was like, he says, there's a problem if there's new music coming out and I like all of it. Like if I like all of it and I claim to understand all of it, he's like, there's something wrong. The
Yeah, that
art
makes
should
sense.
change every couple
Right.
years with each. And I was just like,
Yeah.
but that makes sense, but like, at the same time, I feel like there's still music for your ears and mine that's being put out, but you just got
There
to go
is.
search for it
Yeah.
nowadays. You got to go find because the mainstream is just going to keep pumping out like the new stuff that the young people want to
But
listen
it's also very cyclical.
That too. They do. Yeah. Have
So
you heard
it's
like
gonna
the
it's gonna go
30
back.
years thing? Have you heard of that thing? Like
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's just gonna come back around,
like the
eventually.
80s, like the 80s have come back right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like the
you're
weekend.
gonna see the return of like lyrical rap and all that, which is gonna
Yeah.
be pretty awesome. It's funny because you see this in sports too. You see this um, with like Caleb Williams, for example, who like what he paints his nails, and the hard old football dudes are like, oh man, you're supposed to be a man and you're not supposed to do that and blah blah
Right.
blah. And even the just the influx of like of the mental health stuff that's came in, and
Right.
the leagues being more open to it and stuff like that. Where before there was this, kind of like, dude, toughen up, man, like suck it up. And now it's
Yeah.
different. Like, did you ever see that interview? Um, it was on Theo Von's podcast, and he had Bill Burr on. And Bill Burr, he's this old head comedian,
Yeah. Boston dude. Yeah.
who went through a bunch of crap and just had to work his way up. And Theo Von was telling him this is a few years ago. This is a while back. This is like 2020, 2019 interview. And Theo Von is telling Bill Burr how he's had to cancel a few shows because he's just been depressed. And he hasn't been in the right mental headspace to perform. And Bill Burr goes in on him and tells him like, you have to suck it up, you got to man up, you got to get through it, blah blah blah. Like people pay, and I'm older, so I think I sided with Bill Burr, but there was a lot of people that like gave Bill Burr a bunch of crap because it's like, man, like you're not compassionate, like we got to take care of ourselves and blah blah blah, self help and self love and blah blah. But I understood Bill Burr's mentality of like, dude, like people pay their hard earned money for that to
Yeah.
go see you perform. And you might not always feel great. And Bill Burr's telling him, like, you think I always felt great? You think I always feel like in the right mental headspace to go perform? But Bill Burr talks about like the commitment. You have a commitment as a performer to go out and do your thing and get through it and all of that. That it's been a shift, and you started to see the shift that not just in music, but in like sports and comedy and different entertainment. Um, and it just if you're from a different generation, because I think my generation is the last of that like old head. Because I think like you and everybody else that comes after me, you guys are like the brand new generation of the mindset. You guys more progressive, more just different. Where I think I'm of the last like of this side of the other side of the generation. So it's just interesting. It's interesting that whole thing, how it's just not just music, but
well, okay, even in sports, because yesterday with the Man U fan I was telling you about,
right,
the one that wants to shadow you someday, he was talking about
Ten Hag Boy.
Ten Hag Boy, yeah. He was talking about like the philosophies like in coaching and how like there was stuff done back in the day where he was like, dude, that's insane. Like you would get fired if you did that today, And I'm talking stuff like I mentioned. So he coaches swimming. He used to coach swimming like that in SoCal, and at one point he coached with a swimmer.
Yeah.
Who, when that swimmer was young, was at the time like Olympic gold medalist. He held records, but the records have since then been broken. But for his time, he was like the guy. And so that guy was telling my coworkers stories about when he was a youngster, like in high school and like early college and like swimming. And he's like, dude, some of these coaches, like they would do stuff for like, at the time you're like, oh, that's like, yeah, toughen up. But then like now you're just like, that's kind of weird. Like why, So apparently this old coach from back in the day, he pulled like a Mike Singletary, basically, where like you got to play with these, and he's like, and he like exposed himself at the pool. This is like in high school, like pulled out his like junk, and my friend was like, dude, if I did that today, I would get fired. He's like, that doesn't fly. Like that's just
he'd be on the list. Yeah,
and it's like, dude, so it's like I do see Bill, because like wasn't there that bit of like where Kobe was like, I want to at least play a little every game because what if someone saved up and this is the one time they were able to save up to come watch me play?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I get that, right? But then at the same time, like I also like for performers, like they got to look out for themselves too, man. Especially like now you're hearing about stories about what it's like being out on the road, being in those situations, traveling, touring, all that kind of stuff, whether it's comedy, music. And unless you're the big name, unless you're Taylor Swift, or Beyonce, if you're some of those like mid to lower level guys that are just on the cusp of making it big, like it's not all sunshine and rainbows when you're like out on the road going like city to city, like, like talking about like the traveling arrangements, like the food you eat, your sleep schedule, and I think that's why you're seeing it nowadays, where it's like they're realizing, you know what, like what if I deliver a better product if I'm taking care of myself a little more instead of just like spreading myself thin, try to like do as many shows as possible,
Yeah.
How old is Theo Von? How old is he? Is he like in his early 30s or mid to late 20s?
No, I think he's like 40.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he has an old face. Yeah, he's 43.
How old is he?
43.
43? Oh, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there is a sense of perseverance that I think isn't what's the word? Like,
and trying to fight through.
Yeah, but I feel like we don't reward perseverance anymore. that I think we kind of feel bad for everybody. We want everybody to be good. It's like, participation trophy, like we've talked about. That you hear some of the wars and the stuff that these people had, some of these artists had to go through and play in a small club, and it was just them. And Matt Kearney, shout out to Matt Kearney. He talks about how when he first had his first show, he was able to sell. He had on the guest list 8 people. 7 of those was his family, and he's like, I played my heart out. I played like I was like playing in front of a bunch of people. He's like, and next time there was 10, and then there was, but it took forever. So I think it's from one end, yeah, like I think it's good that there is this more compassion being shared. On the other end, I think it goes too far sometimes.
Oh
Right.
yeah, for
Where I
sure.
think like eventually, well, you're gonna have to persevere. Like
Yeah.
that's the sense. Like, if we always end up with Brady, because I think we both love Brady, but his story is so impressive because of that. Like you hear the story, this dude who's drafted 199th, and he walks up to Robert Kraft and he says, I'm Tom Brady. I'm the best decision you ever made. And Robert Kraft was probably like, dude, you might
Who's that? Yeah.
you might get
Are
cut
you even on the
tomorrow.
team? Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about, bro? But it's just that perseverance to keep going. So I don't know. I think that on one end, yes, you want to emphasize taking care of yourself and not reaching out for help. And I'm a big believer and component of community. You need to be in community for these things. But then you also have to do the work. You also have to be willing to persevere through all these things. Because if you're not, then yeah, why would you succeed? And I think it's in this generation, this culture of quick celebrity and quick fame. I think you strip away the hard work that is put into to everything, because it's easy. I remember when I was in high school, I got in this big argument with my friends because there was no shocker. I've always had strong opinions about stuff. Big shocker, I know. Um, but one of the rappers that was like super popular among my friend group was Immortal Technique. Now I don't know if you know about Immortal Technique.
I've heard of more technique. Yeah.
Um, and obviously I'm dating myself talking about Immortal Technique. And there's the song that everybody was like, oh man, this song's crazy, Dancing with the Devil and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that. I remember my friend played some Immortal Technique. We're playing FIFA. We're at his house, and he plays it for me. And he plays Immortal Technique, and not just Dancing with the Devil, but a bunch of other songs. And he's like, dude, what'd you think? This guy's sick, huh? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I mean, he's whatever, just whatever. He's like, oh no, man, this guy's the best rapper out there. Like, no, he's not. Like he's no, like he's whatever. And a lot of it came from the fact that he was an underground rapper. And I would notice that that friend, a bunch of other friends, would love and always hype up these underground rappers who were no good. Well, at least not good enough for you to like.
So, oh yeah, this guy's great. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because I would tell him, okay, well, would you go see him in concert? Like, I don't know. Like, exactly. Like, would you buy his merch? Because I would like, at the time, I would like I would give an arm to go see Eminem in concert.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if my parents could afford to buy me his like shirts, the shady shirts, I would buy his shirts.
Yeah.
I would buy the G unit.
You'd be out there like fur coat up.
I'd
like,
buy the I'd buy the Dr. Dre stuff. I'd buy
dye your hair blonde, everything. Like
yeah. Like I love Rakim. Like I would buy his stuff too. So it's things like that I'm like, well, if you really like him, and I've always been a big proponent of if you like an artist, you gotta support them. You gotta buy their merch.
Right.
It's why for a long time, even now, like even though I have like Spotify and I pay for Spotify, when a band I like comes out with an album, I'll buy it. Because to me, it's like, I'm supporting you. I want to be there. I want you to know that I'm here.
And nowadays, it's the only way to make money nowadays too. It's pretty unfortunate. It's because of Spotify and stuff like that.
Exactly. So, and I remember I would always like be the guy that crapped on the underground dudes, and they're like, "Oh, you just like the mainstream guys." And I was like, I would bet you everything that Immortal Technique would switch places with Eminem, with Exhibit, with 50 Cent, with Jay-Z, with all these guys in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, he would say Kanye West because Kanye was rising.
All right.
He would switch spots with all those guys in a heartbeat. And the reason why he can't is not because the industry's keeping him out, but because he's not good enough. Because even if you're controversial, like an Eminem, like a Kanye, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, controversy, especially at the time where like there wasn't all this cancel culture, somebody's going to pay. Just the way it goes. If you're talented, someone's going to pay. And I think I've always felt that way. Like if you're good, you need to show it, you need to prove it. But it's going to take some perseverance. You're going to have to like go out there and like put yourself out there. And it's why like, over the last few days, and I've tweeted about this, the people that will talk about sports, and you're like, have you not seen? Did you see the video of that lady, the reporter who asked Todd Bowles about playing in Detroit?
Yeah.
And he was just like, they
play in a dome.
It's in a dome. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, this is like, she represents like some company.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you not know that? Like, how
do you
is
get
that?
hired? Like,
did you not see the game on Sunday? Did you not see the Lions game? So stuff like that, and I've told you, like I've seen on TikTok and Instagram, and I've heard enough bad podcasts to be like, dude, I can do a better job at that. But it's going to take some perseverance. It's not going to just be one episode and it's going to blow up. It's going to take some work. So I think I fall on that side where, I get it. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to guard yourself and protect yourself.
Right. But
you have to put in the work.
I think the thing you're getting at, I think they're two different things. Like because I've heard you talk about this before, like even like in your tweets, where it's like, if people have problems, whether it be, mental health, depression, whatever the case is, the problem is that people think that letting people stay in those, I'm going to say safe spaces, I don't know what the right word is, but like when they need to take a day off for whatever the case may be, some people are too comfortable letting people stay there. And that's how you become stagnant. Right. Now I think what maybe you and Bill, or maybe just you, I don't know about Bill because I haven't heard that podcast, but it's like, if you need to take a day off, then it's like, then take a day off. But it's
of course.
For the next one, like really think if you need, like you said, try to make the effort to fight through. Like if someone tells me they have like issues, any kind of issues, and if I see that they're just like sweeping under the rug and taking, quote unquote time off, days off, but then during that time off, they don't make an effort to actually like maybe see someone to help with their problems, or try to work on try to think, what can I accomplish during my time off to help me overcome?
Yeah.
That's the important thing. That's the goal for them to go after they get time off. Right.
Right.
And I think too many people are just like staying stuck in that first step where like, you know what, I'm doing this for me. I need a day off. And it's like, That's great. Now, what are we doing to like combat those feelings when they come back next time you're like
Yeah,
out
what's
doing
the
or
plan?
whatever?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, there has to be a plan. There has to be some structure to what
yeah.
you're doing.
Because
Yeah.
I think for me, my problem, and this is obviously, I battle with that stuff of
Yeah.
being a dark space, depression, whatever. But to me, you can't just stay there. You can't. That
Yeah.
can't be the solution. That can't be. That's for me. That's not a good enough reason to not wake up in the morning, get up, and do stuff. Because yeah, you feel that way, but you got to push through. You have to, because if you
Yeah.
don't, you get paralyzed and you begin to think the lie that this is my life, and it's not your life. There's more to it, and yeah, you're probably always gonna suffer with it, but you have to face it head on. You
And
have
find ways to
to.
combat it because, like you said,
Yeah,
if they're there, they're going to be there. You got to figure out things to do, and can like confront them. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and I think that's my that's where I stand on all that, because I just don't. I want us to I always want to cheer on perseverance, always, because perseverance is what gets us to where we need to get. And I think it's why, even though I have my issues, I'm always going to be open to talk about them, because I know it shines a light and it helps me to realize like I'm not alone.
Right.
But two, it helps people to realize like this isn't my reality. And one of the things I've learned is the feelings that I feel when I'm in those dark moments feel very real, and they're real, and it's a real thing, but they are not true. And those two things are
Right.
different. What I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
is real, but it is not true, because you feel alone, nobody loves you, nobody's there with you. But you begin to think, you think, well, that's not true. I have family, I have friends. I can text somebody right now and they'll be like, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm here. So you realize very quickly, oh, it's not true. Like, I feel real. It feels real. It isn't true. And I think it's why I've always have come on and landed on the other side of that argument. And
Yeah.
obviously, because of that, sometimes I get labeled as, being insensitive and things like that. But it's just that I just want to always push perseverance. Let's persevere.
Yeah.
Let's not get stuck. Let's keep advancing. And yeah, if you need a day and for a day you gotta stay put, do take it. Refresh, but don't make that the habit.
That's
Don't
like that.
don't let that be the life.
That Martin Luther King quote. Shout out to Martin Luther King Jr. But if you can run, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk,
Yeah,
crawl.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
always keep moving. Yeah, man.
Because
Sure.
that was our problem with Ryan Garcia. Our problem with Ryan Garcia wasn't that he had mental health problems. Because you and I give us credit for this. We never made fun of him for that. Our problem with him was that he would say, "Oh, I have mental, health problems," and then you would see him, and you're like, "I don't know, dude. You look like it's an excuse. Like there's like nothing different. You're not doing anything to improve that."
Right.
Where someone like Danny Garcia, when he had his fight, and you saw, like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and you're like, dude, like, my heart goes out to you, bro, because you clearly are going through it.
Right.
But you pushed yourself, and you could tell, like, interviews
He
after
really
that.
worked hard, like to
Yeah, and he faced it, and he's
get in a better
overcoming
place.
it, the whole
Exactly.
thing. And even with like Delfimo, remember when he had the fight, he's like, man, am I still good? Like, do I still
Yeah.
got it? And
Yeah.
you could just tell, and it's so different when it's just somebody who. Now, I'm not accusing Ryan of using it as an excuse, but it just wasn't something I'm like, I don't know, like, yeah, you probably are maybe going through it, but you're not doing anything to get better, and I don't want to get behind that, because I don't want to ever support, because I think that's where you enable behavior that leads to even darker things.
Yeah.
Because I remember talking to people who have like anxiety. I've learned like the best way to help them combat that is by having them share what they're thinking. because as they share it, you're able to, obviously with mercy, with love, with grace, you're able to kind of tell them like, yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like that's
Yeah.
going to happen. Like, and they begin to realize like, oh yeah, like that is kind of insane.
Yeah.
And it helps them to like verbalize the stuff. But if you're just like, oh man, it's cool, don't worry, it's fine, um, it begins to you enable a behavior where instead of helping them, you're kind of digging them deeper.
Yeah.
And there was this person I knew that battled with deep, severe anxiety, and they went to a doctor one day, and the doctor told them, "You don't have enough potassium. That's what's causing all this." And they told me that, and I was like, "Dude, that's crazy." But it became logical because now, when they would feel that way, you'd be like, "Hey, have you ate a banana? Have you taken potassium?" And sometimes it would help, sometimes it wouldn't. But all of a sudden now you have an answer that kind of helps you settle down. Where it's
Right.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. It's just I have maybe I'm just low on potassium again, and that kind of stuff helps. But if you're just constantly patting on the back, it's okay. Don't go to work. Don't do this. You're enabling.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's
when
where
it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and that's where you end up. Unfortunately, people kill themselves because they've been enabled to do that and never challenged to kind of rise up and see, man, like life is beautiful after all, man. Like, and it's worth living. And sometimes you just need a push. You need a push to kind of, get out of bed. And it's what Aaron was saying: get out of bed, do your bed, like kind of do these like little victories where you begin to feel like, oh man, like this is great. And it's why I think going to the gym so early has helped me so much in that.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time my day starts, like, dude, I worked out already. I took a shower. Like, dang, like I'm ready to go. Like I'm.
Yeah.
And you just feel so accomplished already. It's only like 7 o'clock in the morning, and you feel already like, man, even if today is a day full of crap, I worked out. I did my bed. I took a shower. Where at least
drink the water. Yeah.
And even if my day is full of crap, and I have a bad day at work, and the train is backed up, and the dude in the train is playing his lousy music out loud, I did something good. And I think that's like crucial to like overcoming a lot of the mental fog that people go through. Crucial.
Yeah. Dang. How do we get here? This is all over the place. I like it though. This is great. This is
podcasting.
Dude, we're talking about rapping, mental health, Theo Vaughn, Bill Burr.
Oh man.
Joe Budden. Dang, name dropping out here. Oh my God.
What did you think of Mayo getting hired as the New England Patriots new head coach?
Yeah, I'm
with Mike Vrabel.
I'm with you
out there.
I'm like, when they announced it, I was like, you guys aren't even gonna interview anybody, like other guys, like just to. Yeah, it makes me think if someone in the organization had maybe already been grooming Mayo to be the guy. Like this is like a premeditated thing for sure.
Well, last offseason they had said how they offered Mayo a long-term contract because they didn't want him to go anywhere. So when I saw that last offseason or this offseason, I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, and that. So that being said, right? So I think, yeah, it's weird they didn't interview anybody else. It's premeditated, like they knew. I wonder if Bill was like not given an option, and him saying we're parting ways is his way of saying like there's nothing he could do about it, I guess. And they're like, we're going with Mayo right off the bat. Because it was like within a day, right? Like the next day, like they announced, And so it makes me wonder if Mayo is a guy that the organization thinks will like do what they want him to do. Like it'll kind of be like a Mandilon type coach.
Yeah.
And that's why they wanted him. Because then so my buddy, so Ten Hag boy, he's a Titans fan. He's all over the place with teams. And he likes to suffer, you know?
Yeah.
So he's a Titans fan.
Yeah.
And he was kind of bummed that they got rid of Vrabel, and he was like,
well, because that one made no sense either. Why would you fire
right?
him?
So he's thinking Vrabel was the kind of coach that could get a lot out of a little, and the reason why they got rid of him is because of differences with like ownership, GM.
Right. He's an alpha. Yeah.
Right, and so he's like, so the ownership didn't like that, and that's probably why they got rid of Vrabel.
Yeah,
and so it makes me think, what if the Pats ownership is kind of like on what the Titans ownership is on? They don't want someone that will do his own thing. They want a coach that will bow to their whim and to do their thing.
Yeah.
And that's why they wanted Mayo, because Mayo's been like a little Belichick, studious boy, New England boy. He's always been with New England. So it's like, I mean, obviously, like
you want him to do good
best.
And all that.
Like, I want him to do well. And obviously, seeing all the players saying, oh, he deserves it. It's like, what are they supposed to say? They're supposed to say good things, right? Makes sense.
Exactly. What are they going to be like? Yeah, this guy kind of
right. So I hope he does well. And I mean, but I am cautious because of the circumstances surrounding it. If they had interviewed a bunch of guys and it was like maybe like a 3 to 4 week process where they interviewed guys and they were like, okay, we checked out someone, we checked out. I might feel a little bit better, but I also then might still be like, Mayo was already there. He was under Bill Belichick.
Or even if Belichick was a different guy, because I saw on Twitter a bunch of Patriot fans being like, "Oh, D'Amico Ryans, here we go." You know, like he's hard, D'Amico Ryans, and I'm like, "What?" I mean, yeah, the Patriots defense was good this year, and it was like the bright spot, but I don't, because a lot of them was like, "Oh man, well, as Mayo was a defensive coordinator, so." You could tell he coached that defense good. I'm like, well, I think it's Belichick's defense. Because are we sure it's Mayo's defense? Are we sure it's his scheme?
Yeah.
And, with the D'Amico Ryans, I was like, that's so different because in San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan is hands off on the play calling and all that of the defense. Obviously, he's involved, but
overseas, yeah.
But it's like, no, dude, like that's you, man. And it's why I think Saleh got that job, D'Amico Ryans got that job. You're probably going to see Steve Wilkes get a job because you get a freedom to run that defense in San Francisco. That Belichick is known as a defensive coach, like
yeah.
So that's a weird comparison. Obviously, it's very new. And the other component is D'Amico Ryans is a good coach, but he also ended up with CJ Stroud. So
yeah,
unless Mayo ends up with this year's CJ Stroud, I mean, I don't know how that comparison is even
right.
I just thought it was weird.
Yeah.
It made no sense to rush. Like, what's the big rush in getting him? Because interview a few people, go out and like talk to Ben Johnson and I don't know, man, what if we can get in Harbaugh? But it just you had the feeling
that they'd already made up their minds about this.
Yeah, like they had 20 plus years of one dude running everything, and they were kind of like, no, we want our team back. And it seemed like Robert Kraft's son, he wanted to run the team. He wanted to be the one who kind of had all the say. And I'm going to say this, you're not going to like it.
Go ahead.
I think the Patriots are going to become Jonathan Kraft. That's the guy's name who runs the Patriots. So I think they're going to be the Cowboys. where
Makes sense. I mean,
the GM is the son, they do all the personnel, but it's one of those things that,
they had success, and then they're
yeah,
thinking that they're the ones in charge of it. And yeah, no, yeah, I can see. Yeah,
you
10 years from now, we
you
might
were,
be like watching
yeah,
like the Patriots get blown out, and it's like, oh, they haven't won since 20. Whenever Brady was last there, it's like,
right.
oh
Because
gosh, like
you
yeah,
let go of the legendary coach. I just, and you know my position on this. I think franchises, you know a lot about a franchise with how they treat their legends, and it's why I hate that there is images of Joe Montana playing with the Chiefs. I get the move. You had Steve Young, so I get it. It makes sense. But it's just one of those like Joe Montana should have never worn another uniform. Jerry Rice should have never worn another uniform. And so, it's not just other team, it's my own team. But I just hate that there's, and I told you this a few weeks ago, like I hate that there's images of Brady in a different uniform. I hate Belichick's gonna break the record with somebody else. I just hate that.
yeah.
And I think I don't know, not a big fan. But Gerard Mayo, Patriots head coach, uh, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, dude. Dang.
Were you how did you feel about your boy Matthew Stafford going
Oh, we're
into
doing this.
Detroit?
We're doing this
And
right now.
well, I mean, what do you want to talk about?
What do you mean? What do I want to talk about? I mean,
Well, you don't want to talk about Stafford. What do you want to talk about? Fine, the Rams. The Rams go into Detroit and they
the
lose to the
Rams.
Lions.
Okay.
I mean, you're not a Rams guy, so it's not
Right,
like
right. Yeah, okay, but I need to say this time. Okay, so I've said this on the pod many times, but my problem is with the Rams fan base, the
right.
transplant fan base
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
they live in LA. The Rams weren't there. They had teams. They were all kinds of fans.
And they just
Shout out
abandoned
to my
it.
brother Sam, because when we were watching the Packers blow up the Cowboys, I was like, you see, like this could have been you. You could have been enjoying this victory
Yeah.
over these guys with Jordan, the new team, But no, you wanted to jump ship to the Rams, and I know the Rams like they got their Super Bowl, but it's like you would have been fine. You would have been. But anyway, so shout out to my boy Aaron Garcia, old high school bud running back. He's
Right.
him and my offensive coordinator / O-line coach
Yeah.
were the only two guys that I knew that were diehard Rams fans
Yeah.
before when they were still in St. Louis. Those two guys, Coach
Yeah.
Ledesma and Aaron Garcia. Shout out to him. Because he's probably not going to like that. I don't like the Rams, but I just don't like the fan base, right? The new ones. So, but
Yeah.
that being said, yeah, I and we've had this discussion. I'm just not cool with like the Stafford is like a loser rhetoric, because I think there are things that like they're not the tangible things, but the way he handles himself and the way he puts his heart out there when he plays, it just doesn't say loser. And I have guys in mind that I can think of where I'm just like, I see those guys and I'm like, that guy's a chump. Like that guy, I would not feel good. Like I would feel good playing for Stafford. I would be like, oh, like dude, like that's the way you get super like hard on for the way the guys defend Purdy. Like the guys, people feel that for Stafford. Like people, like that's like hashtag TO. Like that's my quarterback. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and well, okay, with you, is it just the fact that he has a losing record, or is it like moments in time where it's like, oh, he didn't come through here? Which one
It's
is it?
just it's the totality. It's losing record. It's he's not rallying the troops. He's not guiding that team. He's not the voice. He's not who everybody turns to like, lead us, guide us. And Brady was like that. Manning was like that. Mahomes is like that. Now, the Super Bowl obviously is always going to be what you throw in my face, which is fine. But Stafford is always, and I forgot. I think I told you, or I forgot who I was talking to. My little brother, because my little brother is obviously like super
Fresh
stressed.
eyes, like new.
Yeah, so he's stressed about this run. He's stressed about the Niners and all this. Um, and he was like, "Man, you play the Rams. Like, what are we gonna do?" And I'm like, well, Stafford's gonna give us like 1 or 2 picks. He's gonna throw 2 our way because he throws 2 or makes 2 available at least a game. And he did against the Lions. The Lions just couldn't do it. Couldn't pick it off. But it's just his whole demeanor. He is Jay Cutler with better PR.
No. See, J. Cole is the guy I was gonna mention. That guy's a chump, dude. That guy's a loser. That guy is the guy that like when there was
Matthew
I think there was a
just
play where like it was like a trick play and like the way this guy was gonna deliver a block, it was like non-existent.
He's a quarterback.
I don't give a damn. I've seen Brady throw blocks out there. That's not an excuse. You keep praising Brady. I've seen Brady throw blocks out there for his team to win games. And that's the kind of energy that I get from Stafford. I've seen Stafford run into dudes like making like good runs. Like I'm telling you, when it comes down to it, okay, I'm gonna hit you with a Steve Mariucci line. Like you're not looking at his heart, dude. You're looking at all the other hoopla. If you look at his heart, like that guy, like he's a fighter. He's tough. And so for you to say like he's a loser, I'm just like, dude, I can think of other guys that have like terrible work ethic. Like, and regardless of like numbers, like someone like AB, I'm like, that guy's a loser, dude. Like the way he conducts himself. That's what I'm saying. Stafford is not bad, dude. And I can think of, and because you keep mentioning like totality, right? I can think of like, because you brought up Eli Manning last time, and you were like, oh, I would take Eli Manning. I wouldn't take Eli Manning. That guy's 115 and 115. Without those Super Bowls, like he's not even a winning quarterback. Mm-hmm. And you were ready to fire. We both agree on this because winning isn't everything. Mike Tomlin keeps getting winning seasons, but we still don't think he's that good.
Right.
Okay. So someone like Stafford, who was with an organization like the Lions for several years, he's like on the all-time like passing list, dude. Like he can put up numbers. Someone's got to throw the ball to Megatron.
You think Dak is a winner or a loser?
No.
No what?
He's not a winner.
So Matthew Stafford to me is Dak Prescott.
No, dude, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No,
if Jaquiski Tart doesn't drop that interception in the NFC Championship game, you have no Super Bowl to defend it, and you have a bad Stafford game in the NFC Championship game again. And this conversation is different. You're clinging to a Super Bowl. You know, it's like the Joe.
I haven't mentioned the Super Bowl. You brought up the Super Bowl.
No, I know, but that's the equalizer in all this.
Right. I'm not touching that though. Dude, Super Bowl aside, Trent Dilfer's got a Super Bowl. That guy is 65 and 65.
Yeah, come on.
That guy's trash, dude.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Come on. We're not talking about Trent Dilfer. Matthew Stafford is better. Matthew Stafford is a different realm. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Like seeing those guys, it's like, bro, like I understand that
wrong.
Stafford is not like.
I'm not saying Stafford is awful. He's good. He's a good quarterback. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. Kirk Cousins, a good quarterback. Tua, a good quarterback. These guys are top 5, top 10 regular season quarterbacks. But last time you talked about who's on his team, I just saw CJ Stroud carry his team and win a playoff game. And if we go through the rosters, they're probably equal rosters between the Texans and the Lions. And for Matthew Stafford to never get one playoff win, before he got to the Rams, it's ludicrous. Doesn't make any sense.
Dude, it was the Lions. What do you want him to do?
What are you talking? Because the Texans have this crazy.
Is Barry Sanders a loser? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, think that one long and hard. Go
No,
ahead. Go ahead.
look, I'm
Look,
pausing.
yeah.
I'm pausing because yes, yes, he is.
One of the greatest running backs of all time is.
He's
Y'all
very
heard it here
talented.
first, folks.
He's very
Oh,
talented.
you're insane, dude.
He's very talented. He's very
Have you seen
talented.
Have you seen Friday Night Lights? Have you seen
Yes.
Friday Night Lights?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what the coach said at the end about being perfect?
Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
Well, I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, being perfect. It's not about winning, losing. It's about giving all that you had and knowing that you gave all you had.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do you mean, sure, dude?
I'll give you.
Okay, this all makes perfect sense too. In your eyes,
I'll give you another example.
Barry Sanders is a loser. Brock Purdy's the MVP, even though he's not the best player on his team.
I'll give you another example. I'll give you another example.
Go ahead.
Randy Moss. If you remove the Patriot years, not a winner. He's a loser. Great player. But just because you're a great player, just because you're super talented, it does not mean you have a winning mentality. You brought up Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, you can make the argument over the last decade was probably the best wide receiver in all of football. But nobody's going to say he was a winner. So I think there's a distinction. Just because you're really good and you have really good stats, it does not mean you're a winner. Doesn't mean that by any stretch.
That kind of proves my point with Stafford.
What?
Because you're saying you're flipping and flopping. You are moving the goalposts.
How
your buddy? Yeah.
How am I moving it? What are you talking about?
AB with good numbers and wins is not a winner. I'm thinking intangibles. I'm thinking like the attitude,
I'm thinking mentality. Yeah, mentality.
Yeah. So
it's not just the one or the other.
Barry Sanders a loser. Barry Sanders, Matthew Stafford.
It's both.
Nah, man.
It's both.
You're tripping, dude.
No. Because you listen to the people. You listen to the people that played with these guys. And there's never this moment of inspiration. They carried me. Man, they talked to me and I fed off of them. Aaron Donald has that. He has that with the Rams. He's the one that goes and talks to them, picks them up, and says, "We're gonna go. We're gonna do this." That's a winner. That's a winning mentality, and that's what I'm talking about. It's not just one or the other. It's both, where you marry both of them, and you carry your team, and you see the team walking with the guy. You see the guy who the team is struggling, and you see the dudes that walk up and say, "Hey, it's going to be fine. Let's go. Let's pick it up." It's what what we saw with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles this year. Every time things were going bad over the last few weeks, you saw dudes like being upset, going at Jalen Hurts, and you see in other situations in other teams where there's just the pick me up option and the pick me up way. So it's not moving the goalposts. I'm just looking at it. The total package where some dudes are not winners because of the heart, the mentality. Some dudes are not winners because they're just bozos. And Matthew Stafford, to me, like Dak Prescott, like Kirk Cousins, like Tua, and all these guys, Jimmy Garoppolo, are not winners.
Don't do that. You're insane, dude.
I'm not saying they're in the same level. I'm just saying these guys,
especially from your organization, dude. Because your organization be tripping, dude. Y'all passed on Brady twice, dude. Come on. No. Let's not do this. No. You guys chose Jimmy G over Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's insane, dude.
It wasn't right. Yeah.
No.
So that's where I stand. That's where I stand on that.
Yeah. Y'all heard it here first, folks. Barry Sanders is a loser, according to Germ.
And Randy Moss.
You're out of your mind.
Before you got to the what?
We need to have you drug tested. That's like we need to dude.
So is every good player a winner? Is that I don't understand.
Yes, at their core, yes. You can say that. There's nothing wrong with saying that, dude.
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with saying that. Because and again, it is a team sport, right? So it's like, dude, there are guys that have winning mentalities. Like you just talked about it, winning mindsets. attitudes. And the examples you keep using for guys like, okay, like you keep using like you use the Aaron Donald and Tom Brady. Those guys are like at the best at their position. It's really easy to have that kind of mentality when you know you're the best at your position.
Randy Moss was the best at his position. He didn't have the mentality.
Right, but I'm saying the guys you mentioned, like they have that ability because they know. So not everyone chooses to. AB's not going to choose to be that guy, even though he's a great player.
Okay, but
that's what I'm saying. So that's why in my eyes, I'm just like, dude, AB just because, like that, he doesn't have a winning mindset, dude. He's problematic.
I know, but he is world.
Stafford is not problematic like that. He's not like a cancer.
Yeah, I didn't say he was a cancer. I didn't say that.
No, I'm saying he is. I'm saying he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think if you're going to classify everybody that's good or everybody that puts up stats a winner, then Dak has to be a winner by your definition. Dak is going to end up top 3 in MVP voting.
Right. Okay, no. But this is what I mean by moving the goalpost. Stafford has done that with the Rams. Not even count the Super Bowl. Even if he just gets the Super Bowl, he's won playoff games. And your answer to that would be, oh, but he had to do it with the Rams. Oh,
it's a system. Yes.
So that's wrong, right? I'm moving the goalpost. So
I'm not moving the goalpost because I gave you the same scenario with Randy Moss. I said Randy Moss just because, and I think that's situations matter. If you go to a different situation.
Goalposts matter. You're going to for that. Goalposts matter.
But come on, what are you talking about?
That's what you're saying. That's what you're basing that off of, dude.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude. That's insane.
Matthew Stafford did not elevate the Rams to a level where they weren't before. He didn't. He didn't elevate them to a different level. Randy Moss did not elevate Tom Brady or the Patriots to a different level. He didn't.
You could argue he did. Brady broke records that year with him.
Yeah, but Brady was still Brady. It's not like we went from being like, oh man, I didn't think Brady was going to be this good. People were like, oh, of course, it makes sense. You give him that guy, of course he's going to break records. But nobody was like, oh man, I never thought Brady could reach this level.
Right, but then that becomes a matter of like perspective, like it's relative, like how much did he elevate? Because the Rams seem to think that Stafford's elevating them because they got rid of Baker Mayfield and they're not starting Carson Wentz over him.
Yeah, and Stafford is better than those guys, but he did not elevate the Rams. He didn't. He didn't elevate them to a level that we had never seen before. And
that's relative. You're talking.
No, it's not.
They had this. Like
the Rams stayed exactly the same before they got Stafford. The Rams were a Super Bowl contending team. That's what they were. They could get to the Super Bowl. And if the Rams would have played anybody else besides that Patriot team in that Super Bowl, Goff is a Super Bowl champion. Or if McVay was a little bit more experienced, they probably win that Super Bowl. So when Stafford gets there and they win the Super Bowl, a Super Bowl they probably lose. They probably could have lost if the Bengals don't lose, don't lose character and don't like poke the bear in Donald. He didn't elevate that. That was the expectation. That was the ceiling already.
That what you're saying can be true, and he can also be a winner at the same time. They're not exclusive. Okay. What I'm saying.
Sure.
But I mean, dude, bro, dude, Eli, man, you know how many picks that guy threw? Dude, come on, bro.
But when you got him in a system with a good defense, where he wasn't asked to be his brother Peyton, it was successful. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Eli Manning, although not a winner,
No, because you said he was a winner last time. Last time you were like, oh, he's a winner, dude. Yeah.
No. I didn't say he was a winner. I just said I would rather, because I've seen it, Eli Manning could win if the other side of the defense is there and he just has to produce. I've seen him do it.
See that right there? You're moving the goalposts. Oh,
no, I'm not.
Defense, if he has, how many Super Bowls did he win without an elite defense? Because without an elite defense, he was setting records for picks,
0.
bro.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Exactly. Thank you.
And how much winning did Stafford do without McVay? Thank you. I don't understand.
He won quite a bit with the Lions. Obviously, it's the Lions.
What,
dude.
Regular season?
Yeah.
Jared Goff won with the Lions.
He's winning now. The sample size is different.
With the same team, though. The Lions.
The same team.
The same team. It's the same team.
How many coaches did
doesn't matter.
Did Stafford? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But then you praise Shanahan with the Niners. You know they never won a Super Bowl, dude. You're out of your mind.
It does.
What do you drink? I need to check your drink. Bro.
So now the Super Bowls matter. I thought I stopped talking about Super Bowls because you said put the Super Bowls.
You brought them up.
Yeah, and then you said put them aside. So put them aside.
Yeah. Dude, is that water or some Grey Goose? Is that vodka over there?
Yeah. So we'll disagree with forever on this, and that's fine. But
shout out to Stafford. I'm here for you, man. Not for the Rams. I'm here for you. I'm here for Stafford. And for the Lions. I was so happy for the Lions. Did you see that old guy in the stands?
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
Benjamin Cap. Seeing that guy smile, like, dude, that was like a puppy being born. I'm like, yes. Mm-hmm. Like, you know. I think they said he'd been there at the last time the Lions won the NFL championship before the Super Bowl. Right. He was at that game. Dang, dude. What a life. That guy's seen some stuff, dude.
Can you imagine all the years he rooted for Stafford and never Stafford could deliver one playoff win? Forget a Super Bowl, a playoff win.
You don't think he enjoyed watching like Megatron break that record with Stafford? Come on, man.
So what?
You take him when you can get him with the Lions. You know what I mean? Let Benjamin enjoy his day.
Yeah, shout out to that guy. Shout out to that guy. That was a dig at Stafford, not him.
I know, but still, like, just, you know. You gotta let Stafford enjoy that too, man. Come on, you know. Dude, my dad during the game, it's funny hearing him like pronounce Rams players' names because it's like he's that Mexican dad. So like, yeah. So with Puka, and I heard Puka say it Nakua, right? I think he's Puka Nakua, right? That's what he said. So my dad was like, "No, tienes al Nakua." I was like, "Who?" And he's like, "Nakua." I was like, "Oh God!" And then he was like, "What about?" I said, "Que se atienda al Cooper Cup." I'm like, "Cooper Cup?" He's like, "Yeah, that guy." I'm like, "Oh my gosh," you know. So, but yeah, dude, how about those? That hit was nasty. Was it Higbee, the tight end?
Oh yeah,
man, that one made me like. I like squirmed in my seat. I was like, oh God.
Confirmed torn ACL today.
Torn ACL. Dang, man.
That's what McVay said. Torn ACL, torn MCL.
Dude.
It's a brutal sport, man. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do we want to pick winners for next week? What's going on here?
Let's do it, yeah. What you got?
Who's playing? Are they all on Sunday? They're all on Sunday, right?
No, so Saturday.
Or one Saturday? Okay.
Texans, Ravens in Baltimore. CJ Stroud. I want CJ Stroud away. I just think Baltimore is better. I think they're more experienced. But we have yet to see a good Lamar playoff performance. I wonder if this is it. Because I think that's been the thing that plagues him, you know? Like he shows up in regular season. Has bad Januaries. The Texans, to me, they feel very happy to be here. We got the win. So it's the danger of the letdown, you know?
Yeah.
Because anything after this is gravy. Anything after this is a win. You're playing with house money. You made the playoffs in your first year. Nobody thought you were going to do it. You won a playoff game. So now you're in Baltimore. So I mean, getting to the divisional round, I think, is already a win. Which hopefully, it's a really good game because the games last week sucked, except for the Rams and Lions. But
Oh,
uh,
you're one of you like the close games. You like the
no, 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 not necessarily
or competitive,
close.
like competitive games. Like
Yeah, but it just the games themselves weren't interesting. Like you saw the last week, for
yeah,
example,
I like blowouts.
the
Like when
Browns
the
Texans. Yeah, I mean, not every blowout is boring, but the Browns Texans, it was just one of those like, yeah, Flacco sucks today, so just it's not going to be fun. Like he's not going to complete any. Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
execution is lame, so therefore that's going to happen. Dolphins Chiefs, the Dolphins, you could tell that they were so cold that they didn't even want to tackle, and you're like, well, that sucks.
yeah,
The Packers Cowboys, as soon as the Packers went up 14-0, it's like the Cowboys, they had that face on the look on the face of like, it's going to happen again.
yeah. See, I enjoyed watching the Packers. I
But is
thought it
it
was. I
because
didn't
you
find
hate
it
the
boring.
Cowboys?
I like seeing big plays. Like for me, it's like big plays.
Yeah, I
Or like
guess.
seeing in particular seeing running backs like really hit the gap and then
Yeah,
get yards after contact. Oh, dude! Like watching the line, like was it Jameer Gibbs, Dave Montgomery?
yeah,
Those guys were extending plays where I was like, yeah. As an O lineman, I'm like, love watching that stuff, dude.
yeah. I guess. Um, so Texans Ravens, I think it's I think the Ravens are just too good. They're better. They're better than the Texans, and I think that's with the Texans and Browns. You could make the argument that they were even, that they were equal teams, and obviously, usually in the playoffs, when it comes to that, the team with the better quarterback wins. So the team whose quarterback plays better wins. In this situation, I think the Ravens as a whole are better. And CJ
Mm-hmm.
Stroud would need a monstrous game. That defense would need a monstrous, like, if they win, it's going to be very much like the Packers Cowboys, where they like surprise them. They go up 14-0. And then the doubt of like, oh man, is Lamar going to suck again? In the playoffs at least.
Right, right.
But yeah, you got Ravens too?
I got Ravens. The Ravens are just to put this out there, like my picks for like total.
Yeah.
From the AFC, the Ravens would be my number one option
Mm-hmm. To make the
to
Super
win
Bowl.
it, to win the Super Bowl.
Gotcha.
Basically, in the AFC,
Yeah.
as long as Mahomes doesn't win it,
You're good.
he's enemy number one. And then, too, I mean, obviously it wouldn't happen because it's Mike Tomlin, but if the Steelers were to get a seventh, they would be back on that high horse of like, oh, we got seven now. And it's like, shut up.
But they're
So those
eliminated,
two.
so they're good.
Those two. So, yeah, they're gone. But Bills, I'm not really like, if Josh Allen gets one,
You're like, oh, that's nice.
sure. I think he could use one to throw himself in that conversation with like, as far as like the rivalry with him and Pat,
He
kind
can
of how
use
like Brady and like Manning had a,
Yeah.
he needs those contemporaries, so I'm cool with that. And I would have been fine with the Dolphins if they had, but yeah, so Ravens, and then obviously like CJ Stroud too. Like if he were to get one, I'm like, yeah, the Texans,
Can you
like
imagine?
new franchise, great, And then on the NFC,
Anybody but the Niners.
anybody but the Niners at this point right now.
Of course.
Before it would have been the Cowboys would have been there with the Niners too for the hatred,
Yeah.
But now it's like the Packers, like sure, Rodgers isn't there.
Yeah.
Jordan Love isn't a threat to Brady, like so. And then the Lions, obviously, the Lions would be my number one to win it all.
Right.
See, so I just had to,
Cool.
I had to throw that salt, that shade at you.
Yeah,
just,
of course.
Okay, but yeah. So sorry, you were saying the next games is next.
Saturday night, the Packers of Green Bay visiting the San Francisco 49ers. Why don't you
How
start?
you feel? How you feel? Go ahead.
Man, look. I'm a very I like to be negative. I like to. It's almost I hate feeling confident. I hate feeling we're fine. And although every single time I felt that way, like it turned like it's like, oh, I was right. I was right about that. I've never been arrogant about like my team, like, oh yeah, we're gonna smash those guys. And but I do like to get to a place of like, I don't know, it's nervous. What if this happens? And I'll be honest with you, David. I I don't see how the Packers can beat us. And I say that not like arrogantly, not like they don't deserve to be on the field with us. I just mean like the the Packers weaknesses on defense is they can't they were 24th, I think, in run defense or passing. They were 24th in one and 26th in the other. And if you can't stop McCaffrey, you're not going to beat us because McCaffrey, they're going to, Shanahan will run it 40 times on you.
He's the league MVP, if you will.
Yeah. Sure. And if you can't stop the pass, when I look at the matchups, when I look at how the teams stack up against each other, when I look at how the Cowboys were exposed, the Niners have more speed than the Cowboys, especially at linebacker, at the linebacker position. And that's where the Cowboys were exposed because the Cowboys are really good if you run at them. No, sorry. The Cowboys are really good if you run away from, are really good if you to chase you down because they're fast. They're not good when you run at them. And what you saw the Packers do over and over again is run at them. And the 49ers have with the defensive line, you're not going to be able to just run through them. And the linebackers are fast enough where you're not going to be able to run around them. So I just, as negative as I can possibly get, I feel fine about this game. I feel we match up really well against them.
Good.
And I feel like we have the answers to beat them. Now, anything can happen, obviously, and we could lose this game. I would be devastated. But I feel like we could beat them. I really do. The same way I felt, and you and I talked about this when we played the Eagles, and I was like, I think if we were full straight, I think we beat those guys. And I think now because the Eagles are gone, the Rams are gone, the Cowboys are gone, the pressure's on because if the Niners don't make the Super Bowl,
it's like, how did you not make the Super Bowl?
It's a failure. It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Angel, shout out to Angel, he asked me like, hey, if the Niners lose to the Lions, do you think Shanahan gets fired? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, that's super drastic, but if he doesn't make the Super Bowl, like, and you know how much I love Shanahan, if he were to get fired, it wouldn't be like shocking. I wouldn't do that, but it's like, bro, like this was the best roster top to bottom. Like, and if you can't make the Super Bowl with this team and everybody that's coming back and the Niners are going to be as healthy as they possibly can be, the road got, all the teams that people were saying that they were going to give the Niners fits and the Rams, the Cowboys, and the Eagles are gone. If you can't beat Jordan Love at home, and if you can't beat either Jared Goff or Baker at home to get to Super Bowl, I don't know. So the pressure's on. 100% is on. And I think that's what makes me nervous. Good. That's what makes me nervous because
I'm here for it.
Can we do it? So I feel fine. I think we're going to win. I wouldn't be shocked if it's like a blowout. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Because, again, we match up really well against them. Everything that the Packers struggle with defensively, the Niners do really well, really good. And everything that the Packers do offensively that works, the Niners do really well as well. So seeing the Packers get ripped apart on the run game by Saquon for over 200 yards, seeing them get ripped apart. I had it written down. I couldn't find it, but there was like 4 teams that ran 200 times over 200 yards on them 4 times this year. So if you can't stop McCaffrey and you can't stop the running game, it's just going to be a long day. So, the McCaffrey MVP people are going to be really happy, I think, if it goes the way I think it's going to go. Yeah.
Good.
So, what do you think?
This is one of those where I'm like, I'm not picking the logical winner.
Right. It's just hate. You're just fueled by hate, of course.
Yeah. I am my cup is overflowing with hatred for the for the possibility of your joy with the Niners. Gosh. This is one of those games where like I hope it's like a competitive game.
Yeah.
Like I hope because
what if it's a blowout, but the Niners are doing explosive plays? I thought you liked explosive plays.
No, that too. Because like I like seeing like if McCaffrey like sets record numbers for the postseason, I'm like, dang, like that's
yeah,
legit,
like Raheem Mostert style.
But I hope they can like I'm hoping the Packers win, but I hope if they get blown out, I'm like, damn, can you at least keep it close for like a half and just like kind of like so and hopefully in my case, hopefully talk like this can fuel them to have breakout performances. But I mean,
the problem is with the Packers, and you see this every playoffs, where a team is coming off high and everyone's like, oh, watch out for this team. And it's like they run into a team that's like different level and they just get crushed.
Yeah.
And you see that over and over again, where these teams have like this, high emotional win. Oh my God. And it's why as the Texans and the Packers, to me, the way they won, all the emotional stuff that happened, Stroud, Texans, they're playing the Browns. Deshaun Watson used to be there. So obviously it's like this victory lap for LaFleur and the Packers to go into Jerry World and beat the Cowboys the way they did. Coming out party for Jordan Love, sticking it to Aaron Rodgers. You see, we knew we were good without you. We made it to the playoffs the year after we traded you. And it seems like, man, like, can you replicate that? Can you get up again for that? Like, and it just and that's where I become like, okay. Like, it's cool. And this Packers team is not the same Packers team that we've played in the past, where maybe you'll have it's funny because I was telling my little brother, he's like, oh, who are you afraid to play? And I'm like, honestly, I'd be afraid to play the Eagles, because if the Eagles were to make the NFC Championship game, obviously this is before they got eliminated.
Yeah.
That means they would have rattled off 3 straight wins or 2, the wild card divisional. And they would have came in there winning 2 straight, feeling good about themselves.
Right.
We're on the road. Nobody believes in us. And now it's the get back. You guys went into our home and you guys beat us. Now we're going to come to your home. Like, and that would make me nervous.
Right.
And we're here, you don't have the same type of like animosity from those dudes, because a lot of those dudes weren't there when the Niners beat them in the playoffs, So that's my concern for the Packers and the Texans. You already had your high emotion moment, and it's my concern also for the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Lions play Sunday. They're the first game on Sunday against the Bucks. They're at home, and obviously all the playoff stuff is gone. But now it's like the weight has been lifted, and it's almost like you want the weight, you want the pressure, because that helps you to like execute, to focus, to like that.
Right, yeah.
hone in, but you get that feeling from the Lions where it's like, we did it. We won. We beat Stafford. Oh, like, and it just, okay, but you got to do it again. You got to
Right.
shake it off. You got to,
Yeah.
it's a Belichick thing. We're on to Tampa Bay. And you see the way the Lions celebrating. You're like, you celebrate a little too much. You're a little too happy. And it's like, you should be like, we're on to the next. We're moving on. It's, kind of like the Chiefs. The Chiefs and the Bills, they won their wild card. And they're like, all right, we're ready. Let's go. Next. Now, those two teams have been there. They're veterans, but you get the feeling that I'm like, man, the Buccaneers team, a lot of the Super Bowl dudes are still there.
Antoine Winfield Jr.
So,
yeah.
I don't know, man. That one, I think the Lions are better. I'm going with the Bucs. I think the Bucs are going to go in there and beat them.
Dang.
That's what I think.
I'm going with the Lions. One pride. Dude, my sister saw Dan Campbell on TV, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, who is that?" Like, because he's so big. Like,
right.
He was like, well, "Who is that?" And I didn't see the screen when she said that, and I was like, "Who?" Because I'm like, they're football players. They're all gonna be like mostly big, bulky dudes. And she's like, "No, he was like a coach, and he came back on screen." And I was like, "Oh, that's Dan Campbell." And she's like, "What does he do?" I'm like, "He's the head coach." And she's like, "He's the coach?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's the coach." And she's like, "What? Like, what? Why is he so big?" I was like, "Well, he was a player before, and like not that long ago." So she looked him up, and she's like, he was a tight end. What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, like it's like an offensive lineman, but they can catch it, so they have to be big."
Right.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh!" But I'm running with the Lions. I was gonna say Eagles, but the Lions, dude. Lions.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for Benjamin, the 66th year season ticket holder. That's my guy, bro.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Beware. Beware. Beware.
This is one where like, okay, hypothetical time. I know people will say this, but I'm just like, you guys are being stupid. Let's say the Bucs were to win the Super Bowl.
Imagine.
Right, yeah. How much of it do you think would be like, see, the Bucs are good without Brady. It isn't Brady. Like, of course they're going to be saying stuff like that, right? All those turds, all those haters.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like the Rob Parkers of the world will try to hone in on that. And it's like, stop, get help. Like, just to fling whatever they can at Brady.
If they beat, it depends. Because say for example, the only way that would happen is if Baker beats the Lions, then he beats the Niners, and then he beats like the Chiefs or the Bills or the Ravens. Because then it's like, dude, this guy slayed
all the dragons. Like, yeah.
But if it's like he beats the Lions and then the Packers upset the Niners and he beats the Packers and then like somehow the Texans make it the Super Bowl and it's like, oh, he beat the Lions, the Packers, and the Texans. It's like, well, this was the one crazy year, the year that like all the dudes that were supposed to make it didn't make it. Like it'd be looked at as like, what the hell was that? More so than like he would have to go through the gauntlet for people to be like, man, maybe it wasn't just Brady. Maybe it was just that roster.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with the Lions.
And the final game, Chiefs Bills, Sunday afternoon in Buffalo this time.
Bills Mafia, let's go. Bills Mafia.
Me too. I think the Bills are going to win. Although the Chiefs are scary, man. And Mahomes, it's still Mahomes. And it's one of those things.
Yeah.
That, you got to see them lose. I'm going Chiefs.
Oh, come on, Germ.
I want the Bills to win. Don't get it twisted. I want the Bills to win. I have to see them lose. I have to see them lose before
I
have to give them the same respect I give Brady. I gave Brady's Patriots. I have to.
Oh yeah.
So that pick is more respect. It's out of respect.
Do you want to know what my brother said? And I was like, okay, like, so like you expose yourself. So we were watching. What game were we watching? I forgot who it was, but another quarterback.
Yeah.
It might have been Stafford. I think Stafford made like one of those like side throws, which are like all the rage now because of Patrick Mahomes, right? Yeah. But so my brother was like, "Oh, look, he made one of those throws," and he was like, "Who started that? Like, wasn't that Patrick Mahomes?" And I was like, "Aaron Rodgers doing that way before Patrick Mahomes was." I was like, "I don't want that. Used to be your team." I was like, "Come on, bro." I was like, "Don't stop." Sit down.
Hey, shout out to us because we've been on that. Put some
people are like, "Oh, well, like once in a generation." It's like, dude, I've seen Aaron run like that. I've seen him scramble like that. I've seen him extend plays, make those throws. Like, did y'all forget the Hail Marys? Like he, dude, Aaron, like I said, like obviously, and like I know Aaron, like his off the field stuff is getting a lot of attention, but it's like you do realize that guy is a baller. Like that dude can play ball, bro. Like let's not, if he hadn't gotten hurt, I would have very much liked to see what he would have done with the Jets. Like, I was like,
right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so when my brother said that, I was like, go sit down, stop. Like you go ahead and watch your basketball, and I'll come to you with basketball questions. But you come to me for football. I was like, stop. Anytime there's like a rules thing, I'm like, no, this is this because of this.
Yeah.
Like, or like for like PIs, I'd be like, that was PI. I'm like, no, they were both playing hands. If they're both playing hands, I was like, they offset, so that's why they don't call it. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm like, come on, bro. This is my game. This is my sport. Come on now. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good stuff.
What? Yeah. Okay. And I want to ask you because this, like, obviously, like these are. I have an idea because I played in this realm, this position, but Jason Kelce announced his retirement.
Although he said on his podcast that it wasn't official yet, that he's still thinking about it.
Yeah. So I think he's playing hard to get though, because even in the past he's been like, if there's like this might be the last year, if not like
he said that last season,
yeah. So it's like, bro, you're like you're 36. So okay. Obviously, as far as centers go, like we can look at things like sacks given up, how well your quarterback did, the statistics of like your offense.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I as far as like O-linemen go, it's one of those things where it's like you really need to watch them a ton to really know how good. Like you need to watch their quote unquote highlights to see the blocks they set up. And I saw this dude on Twitter who was like, he's like genuine question, not to throw shade. He's like, how do we know that Jason Kelce is like a Hall of Fame center, like an all-time great center? And so people brought up something that said like, oh, like statistics, like look at like how well his offenses have done. For me, the thing that I look at is like the fact that he's 36 and been the starting guy for a number of years. Because there was a on their pod
sustainability,
right, when they had Shannon Sharp on, and we've talked about this with boxing too, but Shannon Sharp said he's like, learning good technique and fundamentals will keep you in the league longer than like athleticism. Because when those things start to go, you have to rely on your fundamentals and your technique.
Yeah.
Jason Kelce's not a big guy. I mean, he's big for like, he's a big guy for a human being. But as far as O-line, I think he's only like 6'3", maybe, which is like, I mean, that's 4 inches taller than me. But it's like he's not like a I wouldn't say he's like a physical like specimen, like because obviously he's a big, strong guy, but his brother,
but he looks like a normal dude. Yeah,
right. Like if he was in like a Bud Light commercial, like with the beer, I'd be like, oh yeah, like that's like the average American, like just sipping, on a cold one. Yeah. So, but when I see like Travis Kelce, like, so I think he's a little bit taller. He's taller. He's a tight end.
6'7", I think.
Right, like that guy. I see that guy, and I'm like, that guy, like that's like athletic stud, freak specimen. And so with Jason, I'm like, for him, it has to be as a center, it's got to be technique. It's got to be like
Yeah.
having some lower body strength, but it's like he's got to do all the little things right to keep his job. Because it's like
Right.
if you're 36 and you're still the starting center, you know how many young bucks come out of the draft every year gunning for his job, and it's like so. But yeah, that's what I think of with the O lineman. It's like it's just the technique and just the fact that they're able to keep their job. Because like obviously, if as an O lineman, if you don't do your job, like I mean, you wouldn't have the starting job. I feel like with like receivers and running backs, like even if you underperform, there's still some leeway with you being the starting guy, even if the numbers aren't crazy, because they can still. There are other metrics to go by when you're one of those skill players. Like someone like a CD Lamb, right? Like
Yeah.
if he doesn't do like fantastic, he still puts up some numbers. So
Right.
he's
And
still going to be that number
if
one
you
guy.
make one play, it turns out to be like the play of the game. Yeah.
Right, right. But if you're a center and you're like giving up, like you're losing tons of battles, you're not holding your blocks,
Right.
quarterback's getting sacked, and it's like, dude, should you be the starting guy? Like, I mean, maybe we need, So, but yeah, just a little overview to give our man his, potential retirement flowers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like he's done though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a good career. Really good career.
Do you go ahead?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, crap, what was I gonna ask? How
Wait,
obviously
hold on.
like we talked about like Jalen, or we haven't talked about Jalen, but we've in the past talked about Jalen, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. And then the Eagles, because I heard your other pod, the NFL playoff pod.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna fire Nick Sirianni, you think? Or do you think it's most likely?
I think so. The Eagles have fired better
They
coaches
fired
than
Doug Peterson who
Sirianni.
won a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They fired Andy Reid. So the way it ended, the disaster that it was, I don't know. It's really hard to really vibe with a guy like that after,
Yeah.
How do you start 10-1 and then only win one game after that?
How do you think they do next year? So let's say like they fire Sirianni, Jason Kelsey retires. How much of a rebuild year is it, you think?
Well, they're going to have to rebuild that defense. They're going to have to find out what's going to happen with A.J. Brown because he looked like super pissed.
Yeah.
So it's just really hard because that team now is in transition.
Yeah.
Is Jalen Hurts really, really that guy? Or did he have one good year? And I think that's a legitimate question that needs to be asked. Because before last season, the year before that, when they lose to the Bucks in the playoffs, everybody was like, yeah, I mean, he's fine, but he's not the guy. Then he has the season he had last year. And everybody's like, nope, he's the guy. And then this year again, and we're like, are we sure? So yeah, if you're the Eagles, other questions that you thought you had answered are now going to be asked again.
Yeah.
So Sirianni's not a bad coach. It's just a horrible way to go down. Like it just feels like something needs to change. It has to. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he should get fired?
I don't. It's obviously behind the scenes. We don't know exactly. Like my thing is like, what does he say to ownership? Like what? Like how do you explain? what happened and be like, oh yeah, like, well, like, trust me again, and it's like,
How about no? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just really hard to it's hard to
yeah, I think with I don't know. I feel like this might have been a thing before, but maybe I'm just new to it. But I kind of feel like coaches like had longer like test samples to go off of in years past. I feel like nowadays it's like very
mm,
common to just one or two bad seasons, and if they're like real, and here's the thing, like if I get it, if you're the Chargers with Staley, it's like, dude, fire that guy. Like,
right.
yes, mid-season. Um, if they fire Sirianni and then they get someone else and things still don't good, like I might even say things like, dang, should y'all have fired Doug Peterson? Because it's like if even he won a Super Bowl, like,
Mm,
you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
right. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's what makes it so difficult.
Yeah.
You can't just ignore. I think that's where I feel like how do you go from 10-1, everyone thinking like, man, these guys are as good as it gets,
You guys are it, yeah.
great roster, and you go from 10-1 and you go through, you beat the Bills, you beat the Dolphins, you beat the Chiefs. And I get it. Then you play the Niners and the Cowboys, you lose both. But even if you lose both, it's like, okay, well, the Niners, they had circled you guys. Like the Niners were going to come in. That was the most motivated game the Niners were going to show up for. So maybe, and that one you're like, okay, whatever.
It's also like the way in which they lost the games,
And I,
you know?
and I
Like,
think that's the thing. Because I seen a lot of like, oh, the Niners broke the Eagles, and I'm not that type of fan, like that arrogance of it. But it's weird that the Niners after the Niner game, the Eagles like crumbled, and it's almost like it reminds me like of a fighter who is like on a rampage, like Mike Tyson when he was like knocking everybody out, or Ronda Rousey when she was on her like streak of beating everybody,
right.
or even the other lady, the other girl, the other female, the other
Amanda Nunez, probably.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
where they were like killing everybody and they were just like beating everybody, and it was just like this aura of invincibility that goes over them. And as soon as somebody smashes them and punches them in the mouth, it's like it all falls apart. So it's almost like everything that they had built was so fragile that the Niners punched them in the mouth, and it all fell because I can't explain it, because we can sit here and say, well, their linebackers were slow. Yeah, they were slow all of last season. They were slow this season. And it's like, oh, well, their secondary got exposed. Okay, well, it's the same secondary. And they're getting turnovers all of last year. And then it's like, well, you know, and it just, you kind of go and it's like, well, they lost offensive coordinators and defense coordinator. Okay, cool. But so did a bunch of other teams too. Like every team loses coordinators
Yeah.
every year. That it makes me wonder, was this all like front runner stuff? And they were super high and super confident because they were winning, but as soon as somebody stepped up to them, they crumble. And I think that's why I I said on the pod about Sirianni, because it just like this was really bad. Not just that they lose to the Bucks, but how they lose to the Bucks and everything
Yeah.
that led up to that game, where you start 10-1 and then you only win one game after that. It's like that's impossible. And it's why I think it's such a big deal, because I've never seen a collapse like that ever. I've never seen a team like fold in that way.
Yeah.
And I remember saying on my pod, like I remember saying it when I was doing the solo NFL ones, and after the Eagles lost to the Niners and Cowboys, and I was like, let's pump the brakes here. They're gonna play Seattle, they're gonna play the Cardinals, they're gonna play the Giants twice, and the Eagles are probably gonna win four straight. They can go into playoffs, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, here come the Eagles." And I kept saying that because I truly believed that. And they lose like to the Seahawks, and you're like, "What? How did they lose to the Seahawks?" And then the Cardinals did them in, and then like they lose to the Giants, and you're just like, "What happened?" So I think that's why I was saying about them
Yeah.
getting
The
rid
the
of
only
certain.
other and the only other team that I can think of where I'm just like they had a and also like the wild card exit plays into it because I think if they win a game or two, like if they make it to the
Yeah,
NFC
then it's
Championship,
different. Yeah.
then it's kind of like But I remember when I think it was the year after the Packers won the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
2011.
Yeah.
The Packers went like 11 or no, like they were like undefeated for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think they lost to I think it was the Giants. It might have been the Giants, like Eli and the Giants, and then they went one and done in the playoffs. I don't remember how they
Mm-hmm.
did the rest of the season,
Yeah.
but that was a season where I was like, dang, they started really hot. You expect them to do well in the playoffs, and then first round they're just like they. But then again, they lost close games. Like when
Yeah.
they lost to the Giants, it was a close game,
Yeah. It wasn't a collapse.
right? And so this is like the more extreme side of that, where it's like they did well and then they lost. Like if it had been like a close game against the Bucks, I'd be like, but just
It's
because you
just the
said
way
like,
it
their
looked.
defense was hot. Like I was watching some of the
Yeah.
highlights and I was like, yeah, they were sacking Baker and everything, and I was like, dang, but
And it's just that offense just look like
they
it
just
was,
couldn't get anything going. And then like
but the
it's one of those things
body
where it's like,
language, it just looked like a
yeah,
team that didn't want to be there anymore. Like the offensive side. And I
yeah,
think that stuff is like, it's like, dude, this is the playoffs. Like, it's really hard to ignore that and just say, oh, everybody loses. It's like, yeah, but like, you guys look like you guys didn't want to be there. Like, you guys just on offense had no intensity. Like, the game was right there, and you guys just had no motivation to go and get it. And it's like the Dolphins. Like, I'm not saying the Dolphins should fire Mike McDaniel, but there needs to be this like culture flip that happens there, because how do you give up the division? You're up 3 games with five in the division, 5 games left, and you give it up. And to look like, and I know, like, people can say, "Oh, it was cold. How would you like, do in those elements?" If you and look, I think those arguments are stupid. Because, well, the only reason why I think they're stupid is I'm not them. I'm not them. Because I'm not them, you can't say that. But if I was a professional athlete and I am a football player and I get paid to play football, and I come out and the game is cold, and I'm like, oh man, it's so cold. If I tackle, it hurts me. It's like, dude, this is your job.
yeah.
This is what you
Dude,
signed up for,
shout out to Andy Reid with those icicles on his mustache,
dude.
bro.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, I just think, to me, this is such a crazy.
Like a cop out. It's like, what do you mean? Like you're making millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like that's his job. That's
yeah,
So I just think for the Dolphins to look the way they did, for the Eagles to look the way they did, it's really hard for me to then just be like, yeah, just run it back. Something happened. Something clearly is wrong with those teams. Where I think the Cowboys to me, it's like the Dodgers,
yeah,
where the Dodgers, even now, even though they won the 2020 title, technically, you sense it.
What do you?
No. This is what I mean. Let me defend. I'm not.
Okay. No,
I'm
okay,
not.
all right.
I'm
I
not
thought you
dumping.
were about to go. I was like, dude,
No, no, no,
our
no, no,
Lakers, our
no,
beloved
no, no,
Lakers. Like,
no, no. I'm not dumping on that.
no.
I'm
Okay.
not dumping on that title.
Go ahead.
But the Dodgers have and their fans. They have this like these moments in the playoffs where when things get tight or things begin to go wrong, you sense it in the players' faces and the Dodger fans, the feeling of uh-oh. And it's like
dread.
they get so in their head that they crumble because they're like, oh, it's gonna happen again. Oh, and you saw. I remember in the last playoff run when Kershaw got like rocked against the Diamondbacks, and you go to Twitter and it's like, Kershaw again.
Dude, the Pats had that for a while, man. Before they won the Super Bowl in 2014.
Yeah.
They had like Brady and them. They like there was this aura where it's like, oh, dude, they just can't get back to it. They can't get in. Like,
well, remember,
and every year, like there was
the
like
Seattle Super Bowl,
yeah,
with Javon Curse when he caught, and you're like, are you serious? Are you serious? They're gonna lose on a crazy catch again. It was
for the Giants, the Mario Manningham catch.
No, I know, but it was like David Tyree.
Yeah,
I'll make cash. And like, wow. And then the next one is like, Mario Manningham, the crazy catch. And you're like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then Javon Curse, and you're like, are you...
Dude, that was a grim moment in that.
Yeah. And I think yeah, exactly. So that's where I think the Cowboys are at. The Cowboys are right there. In that, so because it's different. It's not a culture they checked out. It was it's happening again. I cannot.
That's the kind of talk where like
it's happening again.
It was talking about like curses, like where it's just like, obviously, and it's like a but it can feed into this, like, and then, bro, that's why you gotta watch Iron Claw. And Iron Claw is the big thing about like a family curse, and you see it in Zac Efron's face when things start to hit the fan, and you're like, damn, like people like joke about it, but then it's kind of like, oh, well, I mean, it's kind of a thing,
Well, because it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh, I'm gonna suck. It's gonna fall apart, and it falls apart because you already go in there thinking,
and then you suck, and you're like, damn, I was right. I told myself I was gonna suck, and I did.
You know what? It's funny. It's funny because having right now in the NFC, everything looks really pretty for the Niners because it's like, dang, everybody got eliminated. And I remember Sunday, in the group text I'm in with some of my guys, one of my friends he's a Dolphins fan, and he's like, man, you're there just puffing your chest, huh? You feel really good. He tells me, and I'm like, you do know that out of all of us in this group chat, because there's a Packer fan, a Ram fan, a Giants fan, a Dolphins fan, and me, the Niner fan. And I'm like, you do know out of all of us in this group, I've experienced the most like kicks to the nuts by my team. Like, I am at no point comfortable, confident, because I am waiting for that kick in the nuts. I'm waiting for the Niners to kick me in the balls again. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's and obviously, I'm super like, man, because I do believe that if the Niners have the roster to beat anybody, and that's not even controversial. That's just, it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. People were saying that around the league. Yeah.
But it does, like, as a Niner fan, I have that too. Because there is that sense of like, and you just, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok montage where they will show like all the ways the Niners have lost, like going back to like the Harbaugh stuff and everything. And it's like, dude, I've lived through that. Yeah. So yeah, like when it's the playoffs.
I miss those, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
And I get super nervous. It's like, dude, like I'm not gaslighting. I am legitimately
This is like when
Like
Adrian
I've been there.
flinches when I want to pat him on the back. Like you ever try to pat like a little guy on the back and they flinch and they're
Yeah,
always
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I remember I asked them once, I was like, dude, why do you like, dude, what? I'm just putting my hand on your shoulder. Like,
Yeah.
and he's like, nah, man, like I like, like people would hit me. Like I've been hit before. And so it's just like a little reflex where if a hand comes by me, like in school, you used to get like nut check where like your homie would walk up to you and then boom, give you a little shot
Yeah.
down
So
there or
you
something.
just have,
You got that,
yeah.
that little fast twitch. And so that's you with the Niners. You're like, dude, I've been here. It hurts sometimes. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
It's why you'll never hear me
like rah
be like,
rah.
oh, never. You'll never
Yeah.
hear me like, oh, we're going to win it. This is our Super Bowl, dude. Never, because
Yeah.
I've seen us have really good teams and not win it. So the Cowboys, to me, that's what that is, because it was just that, like, that I've seen that look. I've had that look. I remember last year the NFC Championship game, um, when Purdy went out, and I remember sitting there. It was after church, and I remember sitting there because we had it in Angel's house church. He puts on the game after church. We're watching, and Purdy, he gets hurt, and you're like, oh, Purdy's hurt. And I was just sitting there in silence, like, like I cannot believe it's happening again.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember when Tart dropped that interception, and I remember just feeling that, like, oh, we're gonna lose, aren't we? We're gonna lose this game. Like, so just over and over, even like the Chiefs Super Bowl to this day, I don't know how we lost that Super Bowl. It's I think that one and the Ravens Super Bowl, those two losses, I think about those losses like
All the
a
time.
few, a few times a week. Yeah,
Dude.
like it's one of those that whenever I see highlights of those, I can't even watch those highlights
Dude, man.
because to me, I don't understand how we lost those two Super Bowls. I just so all that to say, the Cowboys are that. The Cowboys, to me, had that in that game where the Packers go up 14-0. Because the interception by Alexander was such a like crazy play. Like it bounces off of Cooks, he gets it, and you're like, it's a pick. Oh my God, it's a pick. And you just sense the like, ugh, we're going through this again. So, but I
Hey,
would
shout out to
still.
Jerry. Shout out to Jerry. That shot of him slamming his little fist. That reminded me of you when someone filmed you watching soccer and you slammed your
My
little fist
sister,
into the bed.
you know,
Hilarious, dude. Dude, that was Jerry Jones.
bro, you might.
Dude.
I think there may be videos of me over the next few weekends. So, um, I was
Oh, yeah.
we saw I saw some TikTok video with Stephanie, this guy that was crying, this in the state because no, it wasn't a TikTok video in the game because she was
Right,
watching
the
the game with me,
Jumbotron. Yeah, of course, of
and they
course.
showed this fan and he was like crying, and she's like, man, he's crying. I'm like, dude, like this is the first time in 32 years, 31 years that they've won. Like these guys have seen that team like lose. They saw, I'm like, it's so crazy. They saw their team lose every single game before they even got to see them win a playoff game. Like that's crazy, like to say, oh, I saw
Yeah,
my team go 0-16 before I saw them win a playoff game.
yeah.
And she was like, would you think you would cry if the Niners win the Super Bowl? I'm like 1,000%. Like I'm not even gonna try to front or lie and be like, oh no, 1,000%. Because it
Dude.
just I remember when Cruz Azul finally broke the stretch they were on of not winning for over 20 years. I remember I cried when they won. Because again, like the Niners every year was like heartbreak. Heartbreak. They would get close. Heartbreak. So it's just I'm like, oh yeah, if they were to win the Super Bowl, like Yeah, I would cry. And it's why, honestly, like, this sounds super dramatic, but I feel like if we don't win it this year, I don't know. I don't know when we'll win it. Like, I just,
Dude, I thought for sure like that Harbaugh era when I would look at
yeah,
those
no,
rosters. No, seriously, when I would look at the
yeah,
talent they had on those teams, man. I remember like this. Remember like Alden Smith's rookie year, like just monster. I was like, who the hell is this guy? Him and then Justin Smith, Patrick
yeah,
Willis, Lamar Bowman. I was like, in my mind, I was like, they're gonna get a Super Bowl at least once within the next like 5 to 6 years. Like the way that roster was put together, I was like, oh, I'm guaranteeing it. I was like, and I remember I was really pissed because there was during that era there was this. I think they had gosh, I want to say it was a Monday or Thursday night game, but the Niners beat New England. You might remember this game,
Sunday night.
but I remember I was in school the next day, and there was
Yeah.
this kid,
It was
and
Sunday night,
dude, this kid was
there,
like,
and Kaepernick went into Gillette and just killed him. Yeah, I remember.
yeah, and this kid was like, and okay, here's the thing about me about him, but this particular kid, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was a big like soccer fan.
Okay.
But, you know, and so I was like, dude, you don't even watch football like that, so don't even. But his team happened to be the Niners, and so he was all like, ha ha ha, and I'm like, bro, stop. Like,
wait, that's why you hate the Niners. It's not me. It's that guy.
no, but even then, because
Right.
I enjoyed watching like those teams, like when they
Yeah.
I was just like, it wasn't until I saw you on Twitter with your tweets where I was like, nah, I can't have these guys doing well, you know. But yeah, that dude was like, I was like, bro, you need to watch. It's like, shut your mouth. It's like, get out of here, please, get out of my face. But I was like, man, these guys are good. Like that Niners, that era, that Harbaugh era, I was just like, you guys are gonna get a ring at one point.
Mhm.
And so, dude, I remember this one time I was God, I was gosh, what year was it? When was Jim Harbaugh's first year?
20.
2009, 2010?
No. He was there way after that.
Really?
Yeah. He was there. He coached the 49ers in the year. 1 second. 2011.
Okay, yeah, okay, so that was my junior year. And I remember I was at a freshman or JV game for football. This is obviously football season. And so the way practice would work back then was like if you had your game Friday, Thursday was like the walkthrough practice, like you're in like helmet, shoulder pads, shorts, you know, and you just run through the place. It's a real short practice. And after that, you'd go and get your jersey. And then you could hang around the campus or you could go home. Like your day was done. And so a lot of the guys would still hang around campus and they would watch the freshman or JV teams. And I distinctly remember I was at one of these games once that season, and I was watching the game, and I saw these people over by the concession stand, like by the little restroom area.
Yeah.
And there was one guy that walked up to another, and I guess they were old friends. And he was like, "Oh my god!" They were like, "Bob, I haven't seen you in forever. How have you been, man?" Blah blah blah. And this one guy said, "Dude, it's forever ingrained in my mind." He was like, "Have you seen the Niners play football recently? Man, they haven't played like that in years." In the most like Orville Redenbacher, like old white, like old timer type voice.
Yeah.
This guy was like ecstatic that they were doing well finally again for the longest time.
That's how I was.
Yeah, and I was just like, but then it reminded me of like all like the Mike Singletary years when they were like trash, you know. And so now I was like, dang, like yeah, like they're playing well, they're playing really good, you know. So yeah. So we didn't start with that guy. You solely started. You put me on that path of.
I don't understand, but because what? Because I was like living
it's
and
like when you tweet, like because you've already said like you don't want to be that huffy puffy chest like arrogant, but when you tweet, sometimes I read it like that because I know how you are. I know you want to be self-deprecating, but on the inside, I know you want to be arrogant about it. I know you want to, but you know you
You're
shouldn't
you're
because this stuff happens that we've talked about.
you're 100% projecting on me. Trust me.
But
It's
you
funny
just said
because
it. I feel like on the inside, like you do want to be that guy, but because you've been hurt because of these instances, you know you shouldn't let that guy come out. But every now and then when you tweet, I'm just like, this guy's he's a little too happy right now. I need him to calm down. I need him to bring it down a notch. And so
that's what I always, I don't know. I guess I never feel like I tweet like that. But
like when was it? When you tweeted something out and I was like, okay, like when the Ravens beat the Niners,
yeah.
you were like, you always take the loss, but then you always come back with like a little like, oh, we'll get them next time. Like we're like next time will be a lot better. And I'm just like, those are the moments where I'm just like, okay, Jerm, I see you. Like you know the team should be doing better, but you don't want to come out and say that because you guys just lost by a bunch, you know. So I got my eye on you, bro. I'm always like every word. I'm like looking down my nose right now. Like through my glasses. I'm like,
What does this word mean?
yeah. What do you mean by that?
No, but I think the Ravens won. Yeah, like, dude, we were in that game. So shout out to the Ravens. They beat us. They really did. But much like the Eagles, if we play them again, I think we can get them. So that's how I feel about it.
Hey, you had a tweet the other day. It might have been months ago or weeks ago. I can't remember, but it was about. I think it was about Isaiah Pacheco and like running angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to like shed
Saturday, I think.
some insight into that, where I was like, oh, maybe that's what this means. Because I think there's two things that come to mind when someone says someone's like running angry. And it's funny because like the Kelsey brothers did a bit where they talked about like that clip of him running, but typically before this clip of Pacheco, if someone were to say someone runs angry, I would think they're like a big bruising power back or a back that likes contact and like they look forward to it. Like I think of like like Mike Allstott.
Oh, okay.
Like that guy runs like have you seen that clip of like Micah Parsons talking about his high school highlights as a running back?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
With Ocho, where he's like, they're gonna feel me today. It's like that's the kind of guy I think of that runs angry. It's like, dude, I'm coming at you. If you're in the hole, I will make the hole.
No, I know.
You know?
My tweet was more so like,
because you mentioned the run happy thing.
Well, it's because anytime somebody describes a runner who like breaks a tackle and like, you know, has like any physical play, like, oh man, he runs angry. And you're like, so who like does anybody not? Because
no. But here's what I'm getting at. You're thinking the opposite is happy, right? The opposite.
No, not happy, but it's just like I don't know.
Like, how should they feel? How should they feel if they ran through someone?
I just don't understand what that like. What do you mean by that? You know, like what do you mean?
I'm about to tell you because I think you're looking at it because you said how are they supposed to feel? Happy? Like okay, the opposite of that wouldn't be like someone who's a happy runner, but someone who like likes to be elusive. I think that's in football regards, that's the opposite of an angry runner. So someone like a Shady or a Barry Sanders, those guys don't run angry. Those guys, like they're elusive. They want to make you miss. They're smooth. So in this context, that's what I think of as like the polar opposite of a guy who wants contact is the guy who's like, because that was the thing with like Barry Sanders, like in high school, like his coach didn't start him at running back because he was like, to my liking, Barry doesn't get up in there enough in the hole. But Barry's not that kind of runner, you know? Like when you watch Barry Sanders run, you're like, or like Walter Payton, it's like, oh, that guy's like, they call him sweetness. Like that guy, like, oh yes. Like that guy's
Walter
smooth,
Payton would like
elegant.
run through dudes though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so he's like a tweener because he could block. Barry's not going to be like a great blocker.
I just think that what's weird to me is the idea that like you call them angry runners, but it's like
It's aggressive.
yeah, but I feel like it's built on skill set, not like mentality. Because
I don't know about that.
yeah, because Barry Sanders had the skill set to make you miss, and therefore he did. And I think some dudes did it, like Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith, for example, wasn't elusive, and he just would he be an angry runner because
I
he
don't
ran
think
through the
so.
middle, but he ran through the middle and like
No.
contact.
Okay, okay. This again. This is like it is mentality because right. So have you heard that clip of Ryan Clark talking about Derrick Henry?
Yeah,
Derrick Henry is not an angry runner. Derrick Henry, he's like a strider. He
right.
can run up in the hole because he's a big guy, but again, like at his core, his mindset, he's not like like that. The guys like that are like Earl Campbell. Like that guy was an angry runner. Like that guy is just full steam ahead. And you have guys that have wiggle room, they could do both, right?
Yeah,
And so
I guess I just don't, because I remember Jeff Wilson when he played on the Niners. He used to say that he he needs to get he likes to get into a dark place. He called it. And so whenever he had a big game, everybody was like, "Oh, Jeff Jeff Wilson, he got in his dark place." And I was just like, "Well, okay, like what is
it's a
that?"
mentality. He got in the mentality to
No,
play the
I know,
games.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't understand like the because if you're gonna because the opposite of angry is like joyous, happy. So I'm like, is anybody happy running? Like,
Right. That's what I'm saying. In
so it's
this regard,
elusive. I get it. Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe it's the word. It shouldn't be angry. It should be like aggressive or contact seeking. Like Frank Gore. Frank Gore sought after contact, and that's why
Yeah.
they called him the inconvenient truth. Like he sought after it. He wanted you to hit him. The whole thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And some guys like they're, okay, another example. And this guy was actually angry, but I'm like, the way he plays showed it.
Yeah.
Steve Smith Sr. as a wide receiver, that dude played angry, bro. That guy was like tossing that. I was like, man, if that guy was like
Ice up,
6'2",
son.
250, like that would have been like one of the greatest like linebackers of all time if he was built like that. But he's small. He's like 5'10", buck 80 maybe. But that guy played angry. That guy was like, like you said, ice up, son. He was ready. He was like giving people like the people's elbow and stuff. And someone like Ocho Cinco, that guy doesn't play angry. He's a showman. That guy is actually happy, but like he's elegant. He's light on his feet,
Right.
He's not like a dominating presence, Like remember when he tried to block Ray Lewis? Like that didn't go well for him, But
What
yeah,
about Gronkowski?
Gronkowski.
He's super physical. I wouldn't characterize him as an angry, or even George Kittle, like super physical. But I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, these guys are angry.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. I mean, because Derrick Henry's big,
Yeah. Right.
but he's not. So I think Gronk is like too much of like a joyous. Like I don't want to. I'll tell you this after the top. I'm gonna be like, but Gronk is like, he's that guy who's too like strong for his own good, and so that's why he's out there like laughing at dudes.
He's like Shaq.
Yeah, he's just like
too strong, so he's like,
I'm just
joking
I'm
around.
catch it up here, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Let's see. Go Packers. That's it. That's all I got.
Go.
No, I'm just kidding. No, nothing comes to mind. Nothing major.
Go Packers. For me, Lakers got the biggest win of the season a few days ago against the Thunder. They play the Mavericks today, so I hope they can build on that. Come on, Lakers. Get it together.
Yeah, let's get it together.
And that's it. So, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Go Niners.
Nah.
That was the pod. Thank you for listening. Thank you to David. Thank you to Angel for the music. I will talk to you one more time this week. And after that, I'll see you next week. But one more coming up this week from me, NBA, and a lot of good stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. It was a podcast. Follow us anywhere you get your pods. Subscribe. 5 stars, 5 stars. And on Instagram, it was a podcast. So thank you for listening. Until next time, go Niners.